Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. And Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out, procrastination, putting it off, kicking the can down the road. In, plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out, carpet in the bathroom. Like, why? In, knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
This week in Jefferson, Wisconsin, where the first murder in 20 years takes place in a quiet rural home on Easter Sunday and makes everyone wonder just who could do such a thing. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us on another crazy, wild, just a downhill slope known as Small Town Murder. We have a crazy one for you today, too. It's one of those, like, where you're like, gee, what? How does that happen somewhere like this? It's one of those cases. I hope you guys enjoyed last week, and you know what? Every damn week since then. Yeah. Last week, we gave you new ways to go boating. Yeah. New ways to sail.
New ways to turn women off.
New ways.
Unbelievable.
New ways to have people not want to be any part of you or be near you. So
it's a hell of a dating website.
Yeah, you should really, if you're wondering, if there's men out there wondering what not to do, listen to last week's episode.
How can I just, I've been,
how can I repulse everyone?
It's all been working too well. How can I change this?
I want to repulse the X chromosome completely. How do I do that as a scientific thing here? So
I'm going to make them like magnets and push away.
Thank you guys so much for everything this week. Your reviews are so appreciated and so helpful. Thank you for those. If you haven't yet, get on that purple icon, Apple Podcast, whatever the hell that is. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, directions. Doesn't matter. But it helps the show. Really does. It helps drive you up the charts, and it makes everybody think that, hey, look at them. They have people that care.
There they go.
It helps. So thank you for all of that stuff like that. Head to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your merchandise, everything for small town murder and crime and sports, which if you're not listening to crime and sports, man, are you missing? You're missing a party. Yeah. There's a party going on. You can hear it. You hear music. You hear like the
couple of thumps.
You're like, that's bass. Something's happening.
Those are ladies laughing.
It's fun.
I'm going to go over there.
There's glasses clinking. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Go over there and repulse them.
Head over there. Do that. Also, get your tickets to live shows coming up. We're going to be in Denver tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
If you're listening to that. Salt Lake City after that, but those are sold out. Don't worry about those. February 15th and 16th, though. Still get your tickets for Indianapolis and Louisville. Get them right now. And then March 13th and 14th, come out and party with us in San Francisco.
Right.
2 late shows, which
and they're
is
almost
awesome.
gone.
And they're almost sold out. So come check them out. A lot of fun. We're going to have a blast with you guys. We have new episodes. And if you're wondering what we do for a live show, we don't just come out and sit there and go, aren't you happy that we're here?
Right.
That's not what it's about. We're going to bullshit about nothing. We have a show. We come out. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Here's the story. And we go, and it's a comedy show that will we try to
the alternative is for people who like themselves. We don't do that because we don't.
No, we don't like ourselves.
We'd like to entertain you and have an enjoyable night.
Absolutely. So with that said, it's time for the disclaimer. Right. This is a comedy podcast. It's a comedy show. I mean, that's what it is. We're comedians. Right. So, we kind of have to make a comedy show. We have no other choice. It's murder. There's murder that happens. Sure. We can't help that.
No.
People kill each other every day in the world.
I didn't do it.
No, we didn't do it.
No.
And we don't want anyone to feel bad about it.
No.
But we also are going to make jokes about it. Because there's a lot of stuff around a murder that you can make fun of. Yeah. Crazy situations lead to murder.
Absolutely.
It's not usually just Ozzy and Harriet, everything's great, and then,
very rare.
Harriet stabs Ozzy in the face. That doesn't usually happen. There's something that leads up to that that's crazy that you can talk about. That's funny. So we're going to do that. We're going to have a good time with it. We're going to have fun. We're going to go out of our way not to make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Yes, but why?
Because we're assholes, but we're not scumbags.
Now you get it.
That's how it works. So if that sounds bad to you, you think, never jokes around murder, that's bad.
It's understandable.
You shouldn't listen to this show.
No, you shouldn't.
I'm going to tell you that right now. Because then later you're going to complain, and then I have to tell you that I don't care. And it's a circle.
It's a whole thing.
Neither of us need to get into. We could end it now as a bad blind date. You gave it a shot. We gave it a shot. Nice to see you. But if you want to have a good time and listen to a crazy story, then this is for you.
It is.
And it's time for you to sit back.
What are they going to say?
Sit back and shout, shut up.
Give me murder.
Let's do this, Jimmy.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip. Shall we?
I'd love to.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. We gotta get it.
It's cold.
We're coming from Massachusetts.
That's what it was. Salem. Yeah.
Massachusetts, out by the shore there.
Yeah.
It's chilly. We're going to go somewhere even colder.
Oh, boy.
But we're going to head to the Midwest.
Okay.
We're going to Wisconsin.
Oh, boy.
Oh, baby. We love Wisconsin.
Yeah, we do. Madison and Milwaukee,
That's
both
right.
of them. Good cities.
That's right. Excellent cities to have live shows.
Yeah.
Jefferson, Wisconsin is where we're going specifically. It is in southeastern Wisconsin.
Okay.
Jefferson is. It's about 50 minutes to Milwaukee. It's like just west of Milwaukee, which, by the way, we'll be there November 6th. At the Pabst Theater.
Yep.
And then 50 minutes the other way, the other side to Madison.
Okay.
It's right in between Milwaukee and Madison.
What's
which,
there?
by the way, will be there November 7th at the Barrymore Theater. Don't know how that just worked out perfectly.
Right.
And it's about 3 hours and 45 minutes up to Crandon, which was our last Wisconsin episode.
How long ago?
Episode 114.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
almost a year ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while. So Jefferson County, by the way, well, it's in Jefferson County. It's Jefferson County, and this is a good time to tell you there's also a smaller town of Jefferson inside this town of Jefferson.
What?
Inside, which is all inside the county of Jefferson.
What?
So it's a little confusing.
It's one of those Russian dolls, this town.
Yeah, you can live in a Jefferson that's in a Jefferson in a Jefferson.
That's gross.
So that's your address. It's triple Jeffersons. Jefferson cubed, okay, and you send it. Fucking off.
What the shit?
6 square miles. It's kind of a small little town. There's a lot of rural stuff around it.
Yeah.
Kind of the outskirts are bigger properties, woods.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's very woodsy.
It is.
You get outside of Milwaukee, it's the woods.
Yeah.
You're in the woods. The motto here, there's several mottos, actually. One is, quote, we're going outside. All right. It's cold out, though. Then what?
Is that real?
That's their real motto.
We're going outside.
We're going outside. They love the outdoors here. There's not a lot else going on in this town. We're going outside. That works for, 2.5 months out of the year. But what about the rest of it when it's frozen solid? Then what happens?
I feel like that's...
then where do you go?
That's like...
we're going in the basement.
We're going outside is like threatening that you're going to kill the whole family.
We're going outside.
We're going out there.
I'll take all these kids outside. Everyone's going to the snow.
Fucking coats off.
Heads first. Let's head first in the snow. Let's go. So the other one is and I'm going to butcher this because I don't speak German. The Gemutlichkeit City.
Oh boy!
Do you know? You're
be careful
German
with those words.
You're German.
What does
anything?
that say?
It's got an umlaut in there.
Really?
Lichit City.
Yeah.
That.
What? The Gimlet City?
Rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? Or the other one, it's a little below the radar. Quote, nothing says warmth and friendliness like German.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Come on in, everybody.
We're going outside where there's Germans.
Now, the Gemutlichkeit Tugendflaken is it's in German is used to convey the idea of a state of feeling of warmth and friendliness, which really I didn't know that existed in German.
It's a good point.
A feeling of warmth and friendliness.
Everything's quite cold.
That's probably why I've never heard that word before. Germans have like, what now? It's from hundreds of years ago. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, we haven't been. No one's cracked a smile here since the 14th century, so it's okay.
This is all pre 1300.
Yeah.
This
word.
I
get it now.
This is a very old word.
Everyone was happy. Now it's bad. Okay. Other qualities encompassed by the term include coziness, peace of mind, and a sense of belonging. None of these things have anything to do with Germany.
Not anymore.
And social acceptance as well, which again.
They've
had problems with that back then. So history here, Jefferson they made this a city because there's water around it. So there was water. The Rock River is nearby. And it was the furthest point a steamboat could navigate the Rock River in 1839.
Oh, it's a big river.
So it's a big river that runs through it there. This was the furthest point. The earliest they have an earliest record of like a town meeting where you could say it would be a gathering of people. It's actually a town. Was in April of 1845. Population was 75 people.
75
in the whole town. 75. The topics of discussion were they wanted to raise funds to build a school, and they needed to raise $100 to build bridges across the Rock and Crawfish rivers.
Okay.
So $100 will build 2 bridges.
$50 a bridge or $75.25. We don't know.
Now it's like
20.
We need $400 billion to build a bridge over the Rock River because that's what it costs for some reason. But yeah, and it'll fall down probably in 10 years, I'm sure. So also appropriating a $50 allotment for a ferry that will be at the fork of the Rock River as well. So
sweet.
But later on,
75 people. That's a quick census.
Yeah, and we think about it, too. That's a lot of money you're trying to raise from 75 people.
That's more than $1 a person.
Yeah, moving out to back then. Right. I mean, that was a lot of money in 1845.
A whole dollar?
That was something. But I guess if you're going to start a town, you want to get across the river? Right. Well, you can either, swim, or we could build a goddamn bridge across it. You could pony up a couple bucks.
Maybe open up that purse.
Yeah, let's do that. So later on, they built bridges that made it so you couldn't have ferries down there. The settlers here were from New England, mainly. A lot of Connecticut people, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. The rest of New England, but also a few upstate New York people. People came here they started to trickle into the area after the American Revolution from the East. Okay. And, of course, they were Yankees. Everyone called them Yankees. And, they were big farmers, though. They came into this area and wanted to farm it.
All the people from New England.
Yeah, because that's what they were doing back there. So they wanted to come here and farm it. It was just more available land.
Yeah.
I don't know if they realized that it was frozen most of the year.
All the time.
They got to like September hit and they're like, is it chilly? Normally I wear my the light, but I need a parka. It's chilly for September 15th, right? It's a little cold.
You feel the air when it comes off the water seems a lot colder, right?
Colder, right?
It's sure as shit.
It doesn't stop snowing. Did you notice that?
And it all is drafting in from the water area.
Have you noticed there's no spring?
Right.
Is that a thing? Spring was 3 days long this year. It's very strange.
It's frozen. Then we sweat our asses off for 2 weeks. Then we're back to frozen.
back to frozen. So yeah, it's a little humid for a while, and then they're like that. So they were big. The New England people brought in the kind of an education emphasis, because in New England, education's a big thing. It still is. The schools there are good. It's known as that. So they got they brought a lot of established many schools, and also this area was big supporters of abolition of slavery as well. Right. Because the New Englanders kind of brought that with them as well, and they were all religious, obviously, as we know. They a lot of them converted to Methodism at this time, and some Baptists in this area because they were apparently Episcopalians at first. Now, during World War II, Camp Jefferson was a prison camp for German POWs.
Really?
Yeah, friendly, warm, inviting. Yeah. German Guggenslücken freaking, or whatever the word is. They erected the prison camp at the county fairgrounds.
Wow.
Sorry, kids. No fried dough this year. we Fritz, who fucking
Fritz immigrated here to be safe. We got to lock him up.
We brought him here actually because he's a war criminal, but
we got to put him where you were going to put your blue ribbon pig.
We're going to put that in place of that ring toss because that's a ripoff anyway. So we're going to put Nazis there instead. So the Jefferson County Fairgrounds hosted a horse and buggy race prior to renovations, and then they made new fairgrounds. You know, you got to get the stench of a prison camp off of a fairground before you can go have fun again. Come on, kids.
They were all war criminals?
The war people suspected of possibly whatever. There were some like American living Germans who they thought. They put Germans, they put Japanese, Italians, everybody. They put everybody they were fighting. We were fighting. They put in there. Site says this is the Jefferson, Wisconsin website. This is how they describe themselves. Jefferson, Wisconsin is a quaint Wisconsin community. Main Street shows off its vintage buildings and steepled churches built by German craftsmen.
Wow.
2 picturesque rivers flow through the middle of town. Our rivers will be a focal point for visitors and residents so they can float up and catch a concert, meal, and even camp along the riverbank. We know what we have is special because people from the big cities keep moving here. It's also because we're close by, comfortable, easygoing, hardworking, genuine, and fun-loving, and really modest, apparently, too. Let other people tell you that, Jefferson. Relax.
We are everything.
Calm down. Yeah. If the great outdoors are important in your life, then Jefferson should be, too, because, quote, we're going outside.
Well,
that's on the website.
Oh, boy.
I found a couple reviews here. This town is so middle of the road. The reviews, you couldn't get any more tepid than these reviews. They're all just like, it's all right. It's hilarious.
Except for that person.
Except for that, but this is amazing. Review. These are all 3-star reviews, averages. Quote, extremely small town, not much to do besides the annual county fair and go to the seasonal ice cream shop, very quiet and suburban. That's not an endorsement, nor is it a trash in it.
County fair / ex fucking prison camp.
Go down to the prison camp.
Let's not forget that.
Dig around, see if
this shit used to be where people died.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't really die.
I'm sure they did.
Ones. Yeah, they were the prison camps. The German ones were weird because the Americans treated the Germans way different than they treated the Japanese because they were white.
Really?
As presumably, I'm not sure, but that's all I could think of.
Also, I guess
the German prison camps were like it was a prison. They couldn't leave, but they had their own little society in there. They were allowed to do whatever they wanted. I mean, they were free in there to do what they wanted.
Also, the Germans didn't necessarily kill our soldiers like on our dirt.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Andersonville or anything. You know what I mean? The Germans did plenty, but I mean,
they were. No, it's not. They aren't great people.
Americans traditionally treat people differently that we're in war with, depending on who they are.
Right.
Put it that
and depending on their aggression of where they did it,
or their skin color. Also,
that too. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, I'm not trying to be like ultra whatever, but it's kind of true. Yeah. I mean, in Vietnam, they were literally like, they're fucking insects. We need to exterminate them. And in Germany, they were like, they're a proud people. And when we made eye contact with a rifle, and we both knew that this isn't right. Like, that's literally, listen to people talk about World War II. They talk about shit like that. You never hear Vietnam. They're like, I cut his fucking ear off and I put it on a keychain. It's just different.
Raped his wife and his kids.
Yeah, right in front of him. Just whatever it is. And we're not trying to trash. No. We're not saying Vietnam, whatever, but it's just there's a little. We treat people differently. That was the government was like, who cares?
Afghanistan, just recently, they're like, I don't know, fucking all kind of racial names. Goat fucker. That was very common.
Yeah. Yeah, where in German they're like, I think if we met on different circumstances,
could share a beer
I think
together.
We get along with these fellas. I don't know what it is.
You like brats? I like. Who doesn't like brats?
Yeah,
with a fucking beer.
So
we can get down to tax on this.
Here's another 3-star. Okay. Quote, this is the most fucking tepid thing ever. Quote, it isn't the best, but it isn't the worst.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Okay.
I love the trails and all the hiking that's available. There aren't many places that can say that. Biking trails too. I see this area becoming a major hub for a bunch of different things dealing with sports, biking, cross-country, skiing, running, etc. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Could be good. I don't know.
Number 3, this is a good one too. 3-star. Quote, very temperate where we are.
Everybody's right up the middle.
No one is just everyone's just...
Nobody goes one side or the other.
It's just a shoulder shrug. Here's another one.
I don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah, here's another one. Quote, average employment. The jobs available aren't the best, but at least there's something. That's like... Everyone's just like...
We got stuff.
I don't know.
We got a little.
Shoulder shrug, Wisconsin. Welcome. Here we go. 3 stars. The businesses are generally good, but some customer service isn't on par. It's a little good, a little...
Everybody's Tim from Stevie.
It's amazing. Like, nobody knows.
Who knows?
Who knows? Only 2 people there.
Be all right.
Only just the people in Jefferson, the people not in Jefferson.
Even if it doesn't work out, it doesn't matter.
Listen,
it'll be all right.
Well, that's this person here.
Yeah.
2 stars. This is the worst review. Quote, there is little to no options for most people. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Not a lot of passion.
It's not enough to get by.
Yeah, there's no passion. Nobody has like a 4-paragraph screed for or against this town. They're all like, look, it's all right.
Yeah, it'll do.
It'll do for now.
Right.
If you can't get over to Milwaukee, I get it.
Consider it a Howard Johnson's.
Yeah.
You wish it was better, but it's not.
But it ain't.
Right.
But you know what, though?
Yeah.
Free coffee in the morning. So, ain't all bad.
It's got 4 pillows.
Beds suck, but
okay.
Coffee free. I mean, hey.
Beds are shit. There's 4 pillows, free coffee. We'll be okay.
I mean, that's all right.
You'll wake up in the morning.
That's right.
You'll be pissed about it. But you'll wake up.
Someone might be in there, with you, robbing you or something like that. Our doors don't lock too good, but still.
Somebody you don't know could be standing next to your bed when you wake up.
People in this town. Population, 7,975 people, which is up 31% since 1990. People have come from the city to here. Because it's less than an hour outside of either Wisconsin. So you literally, you could commute if you really wanted to.
And if you're an hour outside of Milwaukee, then you're only 2.5 outside of Chicago. Even.
Exactly. And it might even be less because it's not north of there. It's west of there.
Oh,
so
shit.
It might be less time even to get to Chicago.
You might be able to commute.
Yeah, maybe. That would
it's
be
a long ride.
It's a long ride, especially with snow in the winter and shit. But you could go to Madison. If you worked there, because that's the capital, there's a lot of shit going on in Madison.
Do some things.
So there's the average age is around 40 here, which is a few years older than normal. And it's all the ages are normal except a few more elderly, few more babies. So you got that sort of thing. Everything else, it's pretty average as far as all the numbers go. Married, single, all that kind of shit. It's a little small family average town. Not that great, not that bad. One of those things. Racial makeup, white is about 87% white in this town.
That makes sense.
It's Wisconsin. Yeah. What did you expect?
And that white is a different white.
Yeah, it's
it white.
Well, the sun doesn't shine there, so it's tough.
They're like a fish. One of those species of fish at the bottom of the ocean, where if you shine a light, you'll miss them because the light goes right through them.
Well, because in May they creak their doors open and they peep their heads out and they're like, oh gee, their eyes are closed like a mole and they're trying to adjust to it. Going, my pupils are burning. It's hard up there. It's a long winter, man. Yeah. It's not their fault. They try. It
is hilarious.
1.6% black, 0.5% Asian. Yeah. A lot there. 10.4% Hispanic here. Okay. So this is pretty white. Religion, people are pretty religious here, actually. 64% of the people here are religious. It's a small town. It's actually Catholics and Lutherans are running the thing here. Lutherans are at the top of the list here. And Catholics are below it. Lutherans, as we know, are the Baptists of the North Plains, the North Central, I guess,
the Baptists of
Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Is there wheat there?
Of the Scandinavian states. Lutheran, the Baptist of the Scandinavian states. So there's that.
There's got to be wheat there, right? Like barleys and such, because they make so much beer.
Clear the wheat out. We need cheese making room. 0.0% Jewish, 0.0% Islam here. This is a conservative county here outside of the cities. Last election, 38% Democrat, 54% Republican, about 7% independent. And as we know, Wisconsin was all sorts of weird last election. This county, though, is voted Republican 4 out of the last 5 elections, 2008 being the exception. Now, the unemployment rate here is super low because it should be, because you have Madison, you have Milwaukee there. There's a lot of places to work. 3.1%, which is like, economically not good. Like, it's too low almost. People won't be able to find what they need worker wise. Average household income, median household income, $51,071. A little below the average, but not too shabby. A lot of $30,000 to $75,000 median household incomes. A lot in that range, middle class. 0.3% of the people make over $200,000.
Not even 1%.
It's usually about 4%.
Yeah.
Here it's 0.3%. So it is middle class, period. That's the way it works here. Jobs here, 3 times the manufacturing jobs there normally is. 30% of the jobs are manufacturing jobs, which is
are they making?
Dangerous because that shit comes and goes, and then what happens? Right. So this is one of those towns that just, they need that sort of thing.
They're banking on it.
They need it. Yeah, it's that sort of deal. Also, some health care and that sort of shit. Now, cost of living, 100 is average, regular par. Here it is 86. Everything's about pretty normal. Housing is 76. So that's a little low. Median home cost here, $176,700. Most of the houses are between $100,000 and $200,000. Like 70% of the houses.
Just from my experience in Wisconsin,
it's reasonable.
Exceeding affordable.
It's affordable. Everything's reasonable. Yeah. It's very reasonable. They're like, look, we know it's tough to live here, so we'll work it out with you. Basically,
we'll take a little here. You take more there.
We know it runs a little choppy. Right. You're gonna have to do is take it to the shop probably. So we'll knock a couple hundred off.
Runs a little rich. There's gonna be some black out of the tailpipe. It's gonna be fine.
If we've convinced you to run a little rich, we have for you the Jefferson, Wisconsin Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here is about $847, which is pretty much on par with the cost of living. I found a few things. Now, I found a 0.57 acre lot that is right on a lake, pond, whatever the hell it is.
Half acre on a lake.
Right on the water, $49,000.
That's a deal.
It's not bad, actually. It's a good deal. I found a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,248 square foot trailer. It's one of those trailers that has like the metal around the bottom, so it looks like it's attached to the ground, but it's not. It's not one of those. $34,500 for it. So
do you own the land too?
I doubt it.
No,
I doubt it.
You got that's a lot fee, right?
I'm sure. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,765 square foot vinyl siding wonder. Baby blue. Baby blue vinyl siding. Totally sided in 1986. It looks like $189,999 for that bad boy. Then I found a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,200 square foot, nice on 3/4 of an acre, nice yard, everything. $425,000 for that bad boy, which compared to a lot of the places in the country, that's not terrible, honestly. Now, things to do. We have, there's some interesting ones here. Things to do. Gloomenglocke Cleat Days.
I knew it. There's a German day.
You knew that was coming. Gloomenschlappen Cleat Days.
That word, right?
Yeah, it's German Lupengocken Cleat. That day, that one. It was started in 1971 here to celebrate the German heritage of most of the people that live here.
Oh, boy.
And they held the first festival under tents in the downtown area, which sounds classy. And then it grew in 1975. They moved it over to the fairgrounds to party at the POW camp, baby. Woo! It's too fun not to do it where the Germans were held captive.
That's fantastic.
It's too fun. But entertainment is what we need to talk about here. It says, quote, check out this year's music lineup that will help you get your polka on.
What?
Woo! Get your polka on, baby.
No.
Oh, yeah. There is... Wow.
Do they think that that's going to attract people?
Get your polka on.
Oh, my God.
It's awesome. Yeah, they're going to polka up there, baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, they have a window decorating contest. ceremonial tapping of the first keg. That's
that's a big deal.
That's some German shit. That's
there. Today.
A sauerkraut eating contest.
Of course.
Followed by the sauerkraut farting contest directly after.
Vomiting.
Jesus Christ. An ethnic costume contest, which seems like it could be
that.
There could be some dangerous social media shit floating around after that one. That's you're just asking for trouble there.
There's a lot of people losing their jobs.
So say someone's going to run for office, and this competition is going to completely.
It's going to ruin everything.
Wipe him off the map, right there.
A whole bunch of people dressed like Obama.
Yeah, it's not going to be good, dude. Not going to be good at all. Ethnic costume, Jesus. A car show, of course. Yeah. There's always a car show. Big wheel races.
Oh, really?
Just what you think it is. It's little kids on big wheels.
Oh, it's not what I thought it was.
Racing.
I want adults on them.
Oh, you want adults on them.
After drinking the
that'd be hilarious.
Keg
full of sauerkraut.
Jamming sauerkraut down your fat face.
You want to see some pale guy puking off the side of a big wheel?
Or spilling off of it.
Puking 4 pounds of sauerkraut out on the side of the road.
I want to see him run that shit into an oak tree.
Jesus Christ. Also, a chainsaw competition.
Oh.
Which also sounds dangerous when there's a lot of beer around. Now, this will be a timed event, making one cut down and one cut down. What is this? Making one cut down and one cut down within 6-inch area. This year will be a friendly competition between friends. This year will be a friendly competition between friends.
Because last year, it was a real fucking problem.
Last year, guys attacked each other with chainsaws, so we want it to be very friendly.
Remember when Bill got stabbed? Let's not do that again. This time, only friends.
It says, will you have bragging rights? Bring your stock chainsaw. Safety apparel is required.
They got to emphasize stock.
You can't have
Don't
like
you fucking soup it up.
Some crazy juiced up fucking... Somebody lights it up.
Flames coming out of it.
In the room. It's playing AC/DC.
Playing Hell's Bells.
Yeah. Big cloud of exhaust coming out of the back of it. He's got a ceremonial above his head. Take down a whole tree in one swipe. A 200-year-old oak in one swipe. It's like a lightsaber. Can't bring that thing. Now, if let's say that's not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
You're not a big polka guy. You don't like sauerkraut. Well, I have something that is for you, Jimmy. The Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival.
Oh, God.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Spend the weekend at the Midwest's premier Sheep and Wool Festival. That's how many more
are they doing, like speed shearing?
Celebrate the diversity of sheep.
There's a black one. There's a white one.
There it is.
That's it.
Well, the fiber they produce and the renewable products they provide. 3 days filled with entertainment, shopping, and education at one of Wisconsin's finest fairgrounds. Guess where?
Fritz's old place.
That's right. Then it says, quote, come for the sheep.
Yeah.
600 sheep and 40 breeds, it says. Shopping, education. That's it. Just come for the sheep. Entertainment includes...
That's gross.
Entertainment includes stock dog trials.
What? You got a souped up dog?
I thought of as a dog on the stand, like accused of something. Like a mock. I thought of a mock dog trial.
Yeah.
The dog just like, I know you did it. Some dog turns around with a mustache and a suit and tie. There's one on the stands up there.
Pick me out of a lineup.
His paw up on the Bible, like I'm not doing it.
It's a golden. They all look the same.
Ma and Pa and their history.
Yeah.
Okay. Walk and knit and sheep to shawl competitions. The Hall of Breeds.
Oh.
So
there's like a Hall of Fame for sheep breeds?
Oh, there's that black one we were talking about. Admission is $8 per person.
That seems steep.
Yeah, kids 8 and under are free, though. And there's free parking, because everything in Wisconsin should have free parking. You guys have nothing but parking spaces. There's so much room to park there. The whole state. Parking. Here it is. Plenty of it. Arizona, same thing. You never charge for park. You know how much free space there is?
It's annoying.
Go park somewhere.
It literally, to my core, makes me shake with rage when they're like, that'll be $20.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
We're surrounded by desert.
It's all space. What are you talking about?
Crime rate in this town, what we're interested in, property crime, a little bit high, not much, 10-15%. But violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime is about half the national average.
Wow.
It's a safe little town, man. It's a very safe little town. It's It's known as just kind of nice little idyllic. It's very family oriented. This is, you got your kids and you raise them and you have a yard and they go to school and, they're presumably aren't going to, get stabbed on the way home and shit like that. That's the type of place this is.
Okay.
So people might move here from Milwaukee who are just tired of the city, and then they had to.
They saw the propaganda. We got to go join the SS.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about a murder, though. That's the important thing that we need to discuss here.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
First of all, there's some facts that weren't in anything else, including court documents, except for a good article in People, actually. People magazine. Kathy, she's got to have a German last name, Breitenbucher, and Barbara Sandler wrote a piece. So there's just
Adam's mom.
Adam Sandler's mom. There's a few pieces of information that they only had, so I wanted to give them credit for that. So let's talk about a young man here. Let's talk about a fella, shall we?
I'd love to.
A guy named Ruben.
Yeah?
Talk about Ruben. Ruben Borchardt.
Oh.
Ruben Borchardt.
Is that German?
I believe so. Borchardt.
Oh, no. Is that, maybe?
It's something.
Yeah.
It's something It's Austrian, German. Yeah. It's something
certainly
in there.
European.
He's not ethnic, I'll tell you that much. So, as of 1979, here in February 1979, he is a married man.
Yeah.
He has two small children. Mm-hmm. He's doing well for himself.
Yeah.
He's early 20s. He's in his early 20s. He's got a wife named Susan. He's got a daughter named Brooke, who's 3.
You're saying it's Susan and Ruben.
Susan and Ruben Borchardt.
The two of them with rhyming names.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Too bad she's not a sandwich name, too. That'd be great. How great would that be?
What is that?
Whenever anyone's name is Ruben, I want them to be married to, somebody else with a sandwich. I want at least Patty. At least give me a Patty. At least you be married to Patty, please. Just give me something. You know what I'm saying? Give me something.
Something you can turn into melt or something.
Yeah, I can make it. I can make it a sandwich. Then I can file that in my brain away. Right now I have this Ruben, but there's your turn signals on. Just bong, bong, bong. It's waiting for the other half of the sandwich name, and my brain won't shut it off. It's going to be there forever. Just blinking.
Right.
Ding, ding, ding.
I do like that Susan, because it's as close as it gets to rhyming with Ruben.
Ruben and Susan. Yeah, that could be something here.
Ruben Sue.
Rube and Sue. There you go. Rube and Sue. And they get along great. Everything's great. They have, like I said, a daughter named Brooke who's 3 years old, and they have a 1-year-old son named Chuck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's small town, Wisconsin, idyllic life here. You got married, grew up, got married young, had 2 kids right away. He's got a good job, as we'll talk about later on. He's a carpenter, but like a specialty one. He makes cabinets and shit like that. So those guys do well for themselves. They can, anyway. God. Yeah, if you're very good at doing something like that, not just a general person, but
if you're not buying
a custom person,
and if you're not buying cabinets at goddamn Home Depot or Lowe's, those prefab ones that you just bolt to the fucking wall.
Yeah, they're expensive.
You have somebody go build them for you. Holy
they're amazing.
Shit. Yeah, they're
also
gorgeous.
Expensive. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I've been in houses where you can tell they have like custom cabinets. Jesus,
cool. Look at you. You're doing well for yourself.
Spending $8,000 on cabinets. Wow, that's crazy. I went to IKEA.
I stapled mine up. They're probably gonna fall.
It's good if I don't put glasses or dishes or anything.
No. I put paper in plates.
It looks good. It looks better than an empty wall.
It's paper plates and those plastic fork sleeves. It has like the napkin and salt and pepper. Nothing else.
I don't put the ones you get for fast food. They give you.
I'm not going to put weighted anything in there.
At a hotel and you get Uber Eats.
Just put that in my bag. I'll take that home.
Those weak forks that don't stab anything.
No.
Like you won't stab lettuce. Why do I have this?
I'm going to use that fork to eat yogurt later, and that's going to be the fucking biggest test that it should have.
You ever get Uber Eats at a hotel and get meat and they send you those things, get some form of meat?
No.
And then they send you the plastic fork that doesn't stab lettuce and a plastic knife. You're like, now come on, how am I supposed to?
I'm going to be picking this one up.
Yeah, I've done that before. Cleveland,
sitting there in a bed with a bar and nothing to hang yourself with, and
Cleveland,
you're eating a pork chop with a hole in the bone.
Terrible hotel room, eating an Applebee's sirloin with my hand, picking it up and gnawing it off like an animal because they didn't give me fucking silverware, and the Home 2 Suites wouldn't provide me with a knife as well. So I got to.
I hope you at least went all in, like not just like held it with your fingertips.
Disgusting,
just
like, and I'm like OCD with my hands, and I was that weekend was so long, and my grandmother was sick, and I'm wanted to get back home, and just fucking miserable, and I'm just eating a steak at 1 a.m. with my hands, an Applebee's steak that isn't even good. It was just
barely
all that was open, and I didn't even give a shit. Just walked there. I walked the middle of the road, double yellow to the fucking Applebee's. That's how just hit me. I dare you to hit me with a car.
And dragging like that ribbon of fat in the middle of the steak, just dragging it through your teeth.
2 bites and swallow it. I don't even care. I don't even give a shit.
I hope it chokes me.
Good. Deserve it.
Unbelievable.
So, Ruben's got an idyllic wife. Susan, wife, Brooke, daughter, Chuck, son.
Right.
So they're all there. One day, Ruben is home with Chuck and Brooke, and they're waiting for Susan to get home, and there is some commotion in the neighborhood, and they go outside, or Ruben goes outside to investigate and see what is going on, and it turns out his wife Susan has been in a car accident.
Oh my God.
Right by the house. Like right by the house, and she is killed in this car accident.
What the shit?
So this is just brutal to Ruben. I mean, as you can imagine, as anybody losing their spouse unexpected like that, that's insane. But especially if you're in your early 20s and you have 2 small children, and that's unfathomable. It's crazy.
Worse is you happen upon it just because you heard the noises. You just walked outside and you're like, well, that's the rest of my life fucked up.
Whenever anybody gets killed and a spouse is left with like 2 young kids when somebody died, it's always like, oh, that's the worst because no one planned that. No. It's brutal, man. That happened to a guy I knew in high school. I saw on Facebook. He had his wife had died in childbirth with like their second baby. They were like 28. I was like, oh my God. I think it was their 3rd kid. Yeah. So I was like, holy shit.
He's got a couple there.
Yeah, so he has all these kids, and I was like, what? That's just so brutal to be able to move on, and that takes some serious.
You gotta
I
want
don't even know.
it.
I want to say character, but it's not even character. That's one of those things where you just have to be able to pull yourself out of bed every morning, and I don't know how you do it. That's crazy. I guess the kids would help because you kind of drag you there.
You have to.
Exactly.
You don't really have a choice.
Otherwise, the house will burn around you.
They probably wake you up and they're like, dude, would you get the fuck out of here? We're low on Cheerios.
Yeah, I need shit, man.
Get the hell out.
Gotta bring me places.
My socks got holes in them.
God damn. So, Ruben is devastated, as you can imagine, by this. He puts his life back together somehow. He does over some time, over the next 10 years or so. Over the next couple years, I'm sorry, he puts his life back together a little bit, and he gets a different job. He gets a job working as a foreman for a Schweiger Industries, which is a furniture manufacturer locally, and because it's like I said, he's a cabinet maker is his profession. There he meets a young lady.
All right,
which is good. His wife's been gone a couple years, and if you're this guy, you got to be lonely.
Yeah,
you go home at the end of the night.
Use the help.
Not only that, you go home at the end of the night, it's 2 little kids, and then you put them down, and it's like, all right, now what? So I feel like if you're young, and it's not like you got divorced, and you're like, fuck her, then blah, 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 I'll sit here, I'll find somebody else. You're depressed.
Right, that's
you're sad.
Right. There's a difference between this and like leaving a relationship and having the responsibility of the kids, because this adds in the added fucking horrible atrocity of grief.
And there's never going to be mom.
Crippling. Right.
It's not like, well, you'll see mom on Saturday. Right. There's no mom.
There's nothing.
Mom's not going to be seen. So you have to then deal with that's the other thing, you have to deal with the grief of your children, too. Luckily for them, they're so young. It's a pretty quick, they're just where's mom, but after a little while, I mean, a 1-year-old doesn't know the difference, and a 3-year-old forgets after 6 months. So it becomes, a little bit easier for the kids. If they were 3 years older, it would have been really hard. So he's a foreman there. He meets a young lady named Diane Pfister. Okay. Meets her.
I'm going to leave the jokes alone.
Leave the jokes alone. Well, you make your own there. It's whatever.
Yeah, then do it on your own time.
Yeah.
They're easy.
She barely knew her, whatever. It's all good. So she's a secretary at Schweiger, and she is recently divorced from her first husband as well.
Okay.
So she's kind of had a rocky road up to this point. She's about 23, 24 years old here. She's born in August of 1949. She grows up very independent. She's always got an independent streak in her, and she wanted to join the military, which is odd for an person with an independent streak.
Right.
So there's one thing they cut out of you quickly in the military. It's that independent streak. Right. There's no independence.
They'd like you to be very dependent.
You know what you're going to do? The same thing everyone else is doing. Right. That's exactly what you're going to do. Just like them too.
What you're fucking told. That's what you're going to do.
Not even at a time. No. It's going to be, you're just a cog in a machine, which is fine. But if you're a real independent person who wants to do your own thing, that might not be the best course of action for you.
Another point is, in the 70s, that was not really a thing.
Not a popular
that decision. Young wanting to do that.
Yeah, this was the late 60s. So this would be like peak Vietnam.
Yeah,
she wanted to join the military.
Crazy.
Yeah, so she
what
comes.
A thought.
Not a lot of girls came out of high school in 1967. I'm going to go over to fucking Nam.
Right.
I'm going to blow up some Viet Cong. God damn it, that's what I need to do.
Unless they got a spitting fetish.
I will burn a village to the ground.
So when you get off that plane, you're going to get all you can handle, sugar.
Yeah, so not exactly a normal, a regular, I should say, usual path that she wants to take, but her father would not let her do it and basically kept her from signing up, which I don't blame him, because a lot of people did everything they could to keep their kids out of war.
Yeah.
Like I remember there's if you read Hunter Thompson's books, the ones that are all his correspondence and letters, basically him and his other brother were paying for his younger brother to stay in the University of Kentucky, or Kentucky University, even though the kid did not want to be in school and had no interest. They're sending him letters going, fucking one more semester, maybe the war will be over, but you're not going to fucking go over there. Don't be the last guy killed. Like they were literally scraping money together. Hunter was like borrowing money from people so he could send his brother
alive.
$100 to be able to stay in school and shit, writing his mother concerned that his brother's going to get kicked out of school because then he'll have to go to get drafted and shit like that.
Boy.
So parents did this to keep their kids out. And some parents were saying, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Some of these guys were, World War II vets that were saying it was good for me. It'll be good for you.
Yeah.
Different situations, obviously.
Yeah. There was a little different sentiment.
Different. Yeah. That's what I mean. It didn't work out like that. But at first they thought of it as the same thing. Oh, this is what happened when I was a boy too. So that's what you'll do. And it'll be the same thing. It's weird.
Cyclical generational.
Yeah, and some of them said that was horrible. Those were. I don't want my kid to see those horrors. That's what some people said. So it depends.
I stormed beaches.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't want them to have to do that.
No shit. So what she did, since she couldn't join the military, she instead eloped with a guy for revenge for on her dad.
That's one thing.
Like, well, you won't let me join the military, and you're making a big deal out of it. So guess what? I got married. You can't do anything about that. Now what? But not. She doesn't last long.
No.
Usually spite marriages don't last long.
No?
It's a bad reason to get married. Like, if anyone asks you, you two want to be together, or you want to get married, or you love each other? Mainly spite.
Right.
Mainly spite.
My dad's a dick, so I'm going to suck his.
Yeah, my dad he made me feel like I didn't have a lot of control over my options. So I feel like we should work out fine for 50, 60 years, right?
Picked that one.
Yeah,
That's
he is.
my option.
Well, he was the first one I saw when I went outside.
Yeah.
But, it's that's just people wanting to get away.
Right.
And back then, very common. Mm-hmm. Back then, that was a common way for women to get away from their families that wanted to get out.
Poisonous situation.
Got married.
Yeah.
That was it. Now I'm out.
Right.
Luckily now there's other options, which is good. Yeah. So there's a college wasn't brought up in here as any kind of a thing.
That's weird.
It's just military or married. So maybe college. Maybe try that.
Both of those are answering to someone else.
There you go.
Terrible.
So doesn't last long though, and she ends up getting a divorce from her first husband, and she does not. She bounces all around the country, kind of looking for one city to the next city, trying to find herself. Okay. She's trying to find somewhere she fits in, somewhere where she can put down some roots and kind of.
She's got no kids?
No kids yet, no anything like that.
Good for her.
She didn't have any with her first husband, so she's just trying to find herself.
What a life.
Finally, she ends up settling in Jefferson, Wisconsin here. Right. That's where she ends up settling in, and that's where she takes the job as an office clerk at the Schweiger furniture lumber mill there, and that's where they meet. Reuben and Diane Pfister meet. So now they end up getting together, and it's pretty quick. It happens quickly. That's the other thing, is a guy like him in his position is like, he doesn't seem like he's like, I want to date and screw around on the side. He is interviewing for wife and mother. Right. Like, that's what he's doing.
This is what's available.
It's like, look, I'm looking for to fill this position in my house. It's a fucking mess in there, number one.
It's got a 401k. I
don't know what to do with that girl's hair. I don't know what she says, braid it. I don't know how to do that. I have no fucking idea. So I need that. There's a lot of stuff I'm looking for. I feel like more than love, I need help.
There are things that you need, you're going to need to, because I can't.
And nowadays, guys can figure it out, but for some reason back then, it was just standard operating procedure where guys were guys back then, though, were just like, well, I mean, there's no woman in the house. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. If
it weren't for YouTube, I wouldn't know what to fucking do with my daughter's hair. Running brushes through it is one thing, but she's got a shitload of it.
Now, you didn't know anything about detangler before,
Holy
did you?
Shit, James!
No.
Do you know that you can't use?
I know. I have a daughter myself.
You can't use Old Spice body wash on that hair.
No,
it will fuck everything up.
No, you need conditioner. It's got to sit in there for a minute. Well, it's a
spray-in conditioner, a leave-in.
The detangler you got to put in. Spray, brush.
And then the brush and a wet brush glides right through it. Don't use some cheap shit.
No, you got to be good.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's
you got to get the one with the little tips on it.
It's crazy. So they get together, and she even says that this wasn't like a hot romance. This wasn't like some like hot affair where he's like, and you can come to my house and like change my kid's diaper too, and my kid's diaper shitty. Like, it was nothing like that, or
Once you're done sucking that, I got some other things you can do.
Ooh, it's a little less sexy, but just as necessary, and just more even, honestly.
Just as disgusting.
Just as disgusting. So he maybe not. I've changed a diaper. So, like, I've done that voluntarily. Yeah. Cool. So I don't know if just as disgusting is the way to put it. So now she also, Diane even says that the reason she was kind of attracted to being needed.
Well, yeah.
In this way, she says that she wasn't in love with him or anything like that. It was more like an arrangement, and she says, quote, I wanted to help. I wasn't interested romantically in Reuben. I was interested in the kids.
Yeah.
So it's a weird kind of like on Deadwood, when you haven't watched it, but Seth Bullock there, we call him Seth Bullock because it's a long story. Anyway, the Tim Oliphant.
Oh, he's great.
Tim Oliphant, he marries his dead brother's wife.
Oh, that's fucked up.
No, it's normal back then. That's what you did. His brother died,
I guess,
His brother died in the war, or in some war in the military, and then so it was his duty then to marry his brother's wife and take care of his brother's wife and kids.
Oh.
That happened all the time back then.
Oh.
Because people died young all the time, tragically, in this way and that way, disease. So that would, if you had like a younger brother, so this guy,
what if she's a pain in the ass?
It doesn't matter. You have to marry her and then take care of the kids too. Yeah. That's how, and it's your job to support them. You're supposed to, make sure they have a life, and that's your job. So, I mean, it was a different thing. That's the 1800s, obviously. It's a different deal. But a lot of brother, sister-in-law marrying after the Civil War.
Fascinating.
And so many people died. A lot of that shit going on. It's like, how about diversify your genetics?
Right.
You already have genetics from one of those.
Right.
Find someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a black guy now. They're on the market.
Yeah.
How
about that?
Hey, there you go.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Put some something. So you got options here.
Yeah.
Come on. So, after 8 months, 8 months later, this is 8 months. They're together about 7 months after they meet. This is 8 months after Susan's death. They get married.
Oh, wow.
So within a year.
Oh, that's fast.
Yes, it's really crazy. Yeah, it's very fast. But people were actually happy for him because they wanted to see him move on and have something with the kids and kind of just keep in rhythm, basically, because they didn't want him to just sit around with these kids for years being depressed. So everyone was like, oh, good, he found someone and moved on.
That's so fast, though. Like, insurance hasn't even paid off that car yet.
Fast.
That's so quick.
I wouldn't, if something happened, I wouldn't be able to do that in 8 months.
Way.
I wouldn't be able to meet anybody for, I don't even know. It would forever. It would be crazy.
With death, that's nuts.
No, it depends, I guess, probably. I don't mean to say it like this, but circumstance, it probably depends on how much you actually liked your spouse, too.
Yeah.
Because some people are married and they love their spouse and everything, but they don't really like them.
Yeah, but
I mean, they're sad, but I mean, that sadness, there's a difference between being sad for a month and being sad for 10 years. So
there's a difference between her backing out of the driveway and like a fucking UPS truck.
Exactly. That's so sudden.
Right. There's a difference between that and then like you coming home and finding the guy that she's cheating on you with standing over her dead body.
That's a different
There's a different.
Yeah.
I think you'd be over that one a little bit quicker.
Or say cancer. One of those.
That one would crush you.
That one would crush. Yeah, because it's over time.
All right. I think you'd be over the guy that she was cheating on you with. That scenario, you'd be like, maybe I can fuck tomorrow.
Yeah. There you go. Maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah.
So this one though, they move on fast. It's just a quick move on, and the reason maybe why they got married too, because a daughter is born 8 months after they're married. So I feel like that's probably why. Hey, I'm pregnant, so we're gonna get married this weekend. I think it was one of those things.
Church is free.
Yeah, so I guess let's do that. Regan is her name. She's born 8 months later. So now he's got 3 little kids, new wife.
Right.
He's trying to start just a new life in general. I don't know. Like I said, I can't judge anybody for because I don't know what the hell kind of emotional state that would put you in.
Yeah.
Losing someone like that. I can't imagine.
Shape, that's nuts.
I can't imagine what that would do. So I don't know, in a tragic way like that, I don't know how quickly or slowly you're supposed to move on from that. I'm not sure. I wouldn't judge anybody for anything. He definitely didn't kill her.
Right.
Whatever he does works for his brain. So I guess
that's how he
good.
grieves.
Exactly.
But to get married, that's a strange grief.
Well, I mean, if you knock somebody up, though,
that's not a strange grief.
In a small town, Wisconsin, in 1983,
and you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do, which is you put a ring on that finger.
Boy, oh boy!
And you up the health insurance. I guess that's what you do.
By my count, there were 60% more holes, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No shit.
That don't make babies.
Yeah.
So that's boy, my goodness. I don't know why you would.
It's crazy, man.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. So I guess it didn't go well.
No,
because they're not in love with each other or anything like that. So it's kind of difficult. They fight a lot. It's more like they're running a small business. I've said many times, having children is like running a small business that will never make a profit.
Right.
That's basically what you're doing. So that's kind of what they're doing here.
It's just a shitload of overhead.
Yeah, it's just a lot of overhead. It'll never make a profit. No. The product might go on to be something good.
Right.
It's like someone who makes like the first technological thing, or like the first laptop or the first whatever. That didn't make shit because someone took that and went, great idea. If only it was better. And then they fixed it, made it better. And then 5 generations later of laptop, those made a fuckload of money. That first person didn't make shit and they put everything into it. So it's one of those deals. So Brooke, who is his daughter from the first marriage, the oldest, she says, quote, I remember in the 3rd grade when I wished they would get divorced because they were constantly fighting. She just argued about anything, whether the sky was blue, anything. So, apparently everybody says that she's way more quick to fight than him. She's likes to start fights, and she's, whatever. She's got a lot of energy.
She's a chick who was willing to go to the military.
Yeah, she's got a lot of energy. We'll put it that way. So everybody said Ruben, though, was very different. Ruben's a very gregarious guy. Always has a big smile on his face, that sort of thing. Yeah, he's just one of those guys. A friend of his named Raymond says Ruben was always very social. Diane was always very antisocial and very anti-Susan. She did everything she could to obliterate the memory of Susan.
Oh, no.
That's one thing that she was not okay with him having any sort of
pictures or
feelings.
Like
and absolutely not.
Wow.
Any sort of feelings or leftover anything for a dead wife. Yeah. She was having none of that shit. She would be very kind of possessive. That she tried to hide from Brooke and Chuck that she wasn't their mother. She tried to hide for a while that Susan was actually their mother, because by the time they were older, they didn't know that.
Right.
They didn't remember it. So that's how she tried to actually hide that from them, which is a little weird.
She just pretended that she's mom?
Yes.
Whoa.
Which is very strange.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Brooke here, the daughter, says, quote, she was jealous. She wanted us to think she was our real mother. She would get furious when she even heard I looked like Sue.
Oh.
So, yeah, they would be around, and a family member or something would tell you look just like your mom, and that would make her fly off the handle. And she'd be mad for Brooke for 2 days over
the fuck?
Yeah, it's possessive.
Yeah.
And it's
for somebody
honestly,
that's not really that interested and emotionally attached to him.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Well, I mean, you don't have to be emotionally attached. If something's yours, it's yours. And we've dealt with this a lot of times. It's usually the other way around. It's usually the male that has this attitude of possessiveness of, it's a weird thing. It's like females will have that, but men have a way more.
They act it out.
And it's just more common for them to have this possessive thing like this. So we've covered it how many goddamn times in this show? It's
too many.
A lot. So this is all very weird. She also, by the time they got a little older, she had no interest in her stepkids at all. Everyone said she treated them badly. She'd be nice to them one minute and then mean to them the next minute, and just like if they were inconveniencing her at all, she didn't want to hear it from them, basically. And now, Ruben, what he does is he buys a farm for them to live on.
Yeah.
He buys a farm, and Diane couldn't have been more miserable on this farm. Yeah, not okay with this farm.
She's a city girl.
She's just not a farm person at all. And to be honest, if you're going to be like run a farm and be like a farm stay-at-home mother,
whole family,
like, dude, that's a job. That's a hard, man. That's
a lot of responsibility.
It's a life that's not for everybody. It's really not. You have to be either born into that, or that has to be something you love or whatever. But not everybody's cut out for farming and being the
majority of it is just putting shit somewhere else,
putting shit places and do all this.
Yeah,
it's a matter of time. You have to be up early so you can do all the shit that you need to do with animals.
Stay up late.
And then you have your kids too. You have to take care of the house and everything. It's a lot, man.
And you're just scooping shit all day.
So much shit. That's all. It's all
putting food at mouths and then pulling it off the ground when it pushes it out.
Ranching, moving shit from one place to another.
That's what it is.
It is. It's crazy.
Constantly.
So she told Ruben that she was overwhelmed by everything. She didn't want to help run a farm and have 3 kids at the same time. Yeah. I'm more sympathetic. I could not be.
Yeah.
Both of those sound like way too much work. I
certainly understand.
Definitely. She told her husband at one point, quote, I don't think this will work to do this. And then she said, Roy. It's a very overboard situation. I see her said, this just isn't going to work. And he's like, oh, come on, sweetie. This is how we always did it. You like it like this.
I'll bet you don't even remember our oldest name.
You sleep on the couch, remember? Because your back's messed up. Yeah. So, Jesus Christ, Roy. So, for years, Brooke and Chuck and Ruben, everyone in the house just tries to avoid fights with Diane. That's the goal of everyone is don't piss her off. Don't piss her off. So everybody tries to be cool and calm and not put shit on her and that sort of thing. Diane ends up, after a while, years go by, she ends up getting a job at Jefferson High School as a teacher's aide. And she has two things that she does. She works during the day as a teacher's aide, and then she also owns a shirt silk screening shop in downtown Jefferson, Mrs. B's Sport Screen Store.
Got it.
So Mrs. Borchards, whatever. So in downtown Jefferson. So she's doing stuff, and she's not just farming, so that's good. She's gotten out of the house and all that sort of thing. But the marriage is a mess, though. It's rocky. It's they're fighting. They're not a couple that's together and
neither of them picked this as a thing.
That's the thing. Good point. And they're not a unit. No. They don't work together. They don't, they're not, they don't let's just get a vacation just for us. You know what I mean?
They didn't get together and have hopes and dreams and aspirations and common goals. No. They were just like, I'm pregnant. Fuck, I'll fix it.
Yeah. They basically were like, well, I got the peanut butter. Well, I got the chocolate. Well, we should start a business. And that's what it was. Great. And they put them together, but that doesn't
peanut butter cups. Let's do it.
That doesn't mean they're compatible on a personal level is the thing here. 1993 comes around. They've been married for 13 years or so, and it's never been great, and now it's just the same thing. It's just rocky. They're not close. 1993, Diane finds out or she believes that Ruben's having an affair. Okay, she thinks he's having an affair, and the way she puts it, she tells all her friends that, okay, now he's going to go out and find some woman. And, they had just built this house that they lived in. He says, now she's going to find some woman, and now he's going to want me to move out so then they can have some life together. And that's her thing that she's saying here. And the thing is, she's right, because he does meet a woman and he is having an affair. Yeah.
Oh, Ruben.
He's having an affair. Yeah. He met a woman named Judy France while he was installing cabinets at her house. Who can resist the cabinet maker? I mean, come on.
His ass cracked
as he's reaching up to drill the shit into the ceiling, his ass crack's hanging down. He's got his gut on the other side. That's irresistible, man. But no, I don't know what
sweat
kind of
on the counter.
Yeah, but apparently
I'll
he
put
comes
a couple
over.
extra bolts in here. You can put your good china in here.
That's right. So apparently, though, Ruben's a very nice guy and a very personable guy, gregarious dude that everybody likes. Yeah. And I'm not sure about his ass crack. I'm not positive.
I'm sure it was out.
I mean, it could have been.
Probably.
Judy didn't mind.
No.
So they end up starting out talking about their problems, and then takes a while to install cabinets.
Takes a long while.
Over the course of that, they end up getting a little closer than that and end up starting to have an affair.
Right.
And Ruben, his deal is he doesn't really go out of his way to hide it. Is the problem?
What?
It's widely known in the town. He's seen with her. They go out places together and shit. He's not we'll go to the next town. So none of that shit. We've had this. Everybody they usually go to the next town so they can't be seen. This is just
a different bar.
No.
You don't go to your bar.
No, he's at the TGI Fridays downtown, right across from Mrs. B's Sports Screens. Going, that's cool. She doesn't fucking screw her.
Happy hour.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just pounding a Budweiser, going, she's doing T-shirts or something. She'll never know. It's not great. So yeah, she's around his age, 30 years old. She's a homemaker here. She's a stay-at-home person, and Diane is not happy about this. No. We're talking apoplectic.
She's embarrassing.
Fucking pissed. And she has a right to be pissed about this. No matter how shitty the marriage is, if he's going to go around kind of openly
throwing it,
openly, not only hurting her on a personal level, but openly embarrassing her on a public level. I mean, that's not a polite thing to do to your spouse, to just be gallivanting out in the open, carrying on with somebody.
Even politicians usually do it in a hotel room.
That's what I'm saying. This is a little bit aggressive. Yeah, they're like I said, just sitting there, at the bar at happy hour, going
high-fiving the mayor.
Yeah, no problem. So she starts to get very upset about it, and she's upset. She tells people about it. It's like an open secret. So she's telling everyone, I'm pissed at Ruben because he's fucking around on me with this, cabinet slut over here.
Oh, he's not doing that.
Yeah.
They're right there.
That's right.
They're sitting at the booth next to us.
How often did Diane call Judy a cabinet slut? How often? Let's be honest. Honestly, a woman losing her mind, yelling at her friends, telling about it. She's like, that fucking cabinet slut. You just know it came out of her mouth a lot. Probably cabinet other things too. So, yeah, but she
carpenter.
Yeah, things like that. So what she does is not only does she complain to all her friends and anybody she can, she even complains to her students at school. She teaches, well, I don't know if you can call this teaches. Yeah. She sits in the room during study hall.
Okay.
You can't say you're teaching study hall.
You're babysitting.
I'm teaching you to sit in that chair and not talk to anybody for 45 minutes until we move you on to the next room. That's not teaching.
Necessarily a professional job, but it's whatever.
But that's why you hire a teacher's aide and not a teacher. Right. You just hire, here's an adult that'll watch, keep an eye on you, make sure you don't kill each other.
She's here because she's older.
That's it. Yep. She was born a little before you. If you start killing each other, she'll tell on you. That's why. It's the only reason why she's here.
And her husband's cheating on her, so don't piss her off.
Yeah, don't piss her off. She's a little bitter right now. So
you sure he's cheating on her? He's right there in the hall fucking woman right there.
That's right. Yeah. She gets so much talking to these kids. She tells them about her problems. She actually at one point asks two of her students to spy on him while he's having an affair.
Why? You already know.
But she wants the kid
to know. She
wants the proof of it.
She needs the words from a high school student.
That'll make it better.
You don't want that.
No.
They have slang words that you don't understand, and they probably hurt to know that your spouse is doing these things.
And they just tell you everything. I'll tell you everything I saw. Oh, my God. First he had her like this, then he had her like that, all over her face. It was crazy.
Fingers here, fingers there.
Oh, my God. Whole hand over here. I won't even tell you what I saw.
It was wild.
I didn't even know that was possible.
I did not know that.
So
I did not know you could put both genitals in both mouths.
It
was weird.
It's strange.
But one looked like a 6, and so I get it now. I know why they say that.
People been giggling. People been giggling for so long.
Every time they say that page number, I'm like,
I giggle too.
What's
like I'm just like, I know, right? And I just give a little elbow, but now I'm like, oh shit! High five somebody over this. God damn it!
I done seen it.
Woo! So this is a student named Doug Vest.
Yep.
Doug Vest.
Yeah. 8 letters.
8 letters.
Done
very
deal.
Simple. And a friend of his.
Probably 7. D-U-G.
No, yeah. D-U-G-V-E-S-T. Right. No vowels. D-G-V-S-T. Efficient. He's an efficient young man.
Doug Vest.
Doug Vest. So she gets him and a friend to spy on her husband and, kind of, you follow him and just see what he's doing. So this is ridiculous to do shit like that. And give him $20 to go spy on your husband. That's not professional.
No.
Teachers don't tell your students about your personal life.
Right.
When it comes, like, you can tell them something good.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've been in a hot air balloon.
Isn't this great?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm
don't tell
going for another degree in college. Oh,
don't tell me you're 69 in a fucking hot air balloon.
my grandmother's died. I'm a little bit sad. Yeah. Don't be like, my husband's banging this cabinet slut and she won't fucking stop and he's taking her goddamn downtown, showing her off to everybody. No. So she gets this Doug Vest. He's a junior, by the way. Doug Vest Jr. He's 17 years old. He was voted sweetest boy in the yearbook. The sweetest boy at Jefferson High.
Oh, like a good kid.
Yeah, that's a nice
kid. He's going to go do this for her?
He's going to go spy. So that's what she's doing.
It, Doug.
January 1994, Ruben files for divorce.
Okay.
He's had enough now. He files
finally
for divorce,
figured out how to be a mature adult.
I was going to say, he should have done
long
first.
time ago.
Yeah, that was the thing. Don't have an affair, carry on, and go, I don't know what you're talking about, not file for divorce and everything's thinking, just leave her if you don't like her and whatever.
Yeah. Take your chances.
Vice versa. Yeah.
The problem is
take your shot. That's the thing.
Right.
They want to hedge their bets.
Right.
Take your shot.
What if then it doesn't work? At least I got this at home still.
No, that's not
That's
okay.
not how it works.
No, please don't do that. Anybody. Don't do that.
Stop hurting her.
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
So 94 here, January, Ruben files for divorce. He moves into the basement of the house until all of the divorce shit can be settled. Okay. So he moves downstairs in the basement, and that was probably the greatest a night's sleep on a cot anyone's ever had in their life down there. That first night, he's hearing like the hot water heater go on and off, and there's dripping and shit, and he's just like,
Furnace
this is fantastic. We've said it many times, there's nothing better than a good divorce. If it's a divorce that you really want, there's nothing that's as satisfying. People that smoke crack go on a mission all day and they have to like scrape up money and they finally get crack. That first hit, nothing compared to the rush.
Everything was worth it.
Of the first lay down on a cot that's yours, or a futon that's only yours, or an air mattress in my case that's only yours.
So close to the furnace you can hear the rush of gas when it turns on that.
You're like, I'm going to die from carbon monoxide poisoning down here. Absolutely. The cat won't even come down here.
It's fine.
He gets lightheaded and stumbles. I don't know. Still better. So Diane would not, she said she's not leaving the home because they built, this is a home that Ruben had built this home.
Farm.
But she says she will not leave. And, she's his wife. So there's going to be some contention over this.
This is going to be
He can't just go, I'd like you to leave and have a girl that I like to have sex with more move in. Like, that's not how divorce works.
No.
If he did think that, he should have thought twice.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you all sorts of good stuff about Chime. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many extra fees you have to pay in life. Everything. You go to the airline, there's an extra ticket on that. There's extra fee on every fees, hotels, fees, all this type of stuff. We're trying to make progress, and the next thing you know, here comes another fee coming at you, and it's more money than you expected, and your whole math is thrown off, and it's awful. Learn more at chime.com/smalltownmurder. Chime is great with that stuff. I mean, you can't beat if your things are a little tight, especially around the holidays or after the holidays. You need that money a couple days early, or you go grocery shopping, you got a car payment due, there's so many things that don't cross over exactly how you want them to cross over. Make progress toward a better financial future with Chime. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/smalltownmurder. That's chime.com/smalltownmurder. Feels like progress. Banking services and debit cards provided by Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Spot Me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Boosts are available to eligible Chime members enrolled in Spot Me and are subject to monthly limits. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about a healthy, delicious item, Hero Bread. And we're both trying to get healthier this new year. Jimmy had a eye-opening doctor's appointment and things like that. So we're trying to get healthier, and I'm telling you right now, this Hero Bread is a good step in this direction. It's delicious, and it is really good for you, and it's really excellent. They have the sliced bread is good, the bagels, the tortillas. I know you've been
they're terrific.
Ranting about the tortillas. They're so good. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in the soft, fluffy experience you love, but guilt-free. I really love the little Hawaiian rolls, too.
Yeah.
They're so good. They're so good. The Hawaiian rolls, they're legit. They're fluffy. They're exactly how you want them to be. You'd never know it's low-carb and high-fiber bread from the texture. You get the soft, fluffy experience you know and love with your savory breakfast sandwich, late-night grilled cheese, Taco Tuesday. Do it. No compromises, just flavor, ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, high in fiber. It's fantastic. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use the code SmallTownMurder at checkout. That's SmallTownMurder at HERO.co.
And now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So they're in the middle of this divorce. The affair is now kind of really out in the open, and she's using this as a major leg of her divorce proceeding with him too, saying, well, he's cheating on me. I'd like to be compensated, I guess. Yeah. She also tries to get, and this is strange, she tries to get custody of Chuck, who's not her fucking kid.
Yeah, what?
That's her stepson.
Why would you do that?
I get that he was like a year old when he came around, but it didn't come out of you.
No.
I'm sorry. You can't go for custody of people who aren't you, that don't belong to you. You just can't.
Right.
That's not how it works.
No.
That's his kid. Sorry. Like, that shouldn't be on the table even. What would a judge even say? What are you, out of your fucking mind?
Stepmom fighting for custody? No.
No, you don't belong to you. Have a good one. Okay, here's my gavel here. Case closed.
I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear arguments.
What is this case even here?
That's the real dad? Oh, end the fucking story.
Wait a second. Who's representing her? You, attorney. Come here for a minute, then hit him with the gavel, you dumb shit. Why'd you bring this here? Why would you bring this to me? So that doesn't work, though. She becomes increasingly angry, just increasingly angry.
I got it, James. Chuck is an extra bit of child support. That's why.
Well, maybe that, and also I think that would hurt Ruben.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those
There's
things.
A couple things in there, I think.
There's a few things in there.
See it.
Now, Ruben, Brooke, Chuck, all the kids here are urging Diane to seek counseling because she's becoming very unhinged as far as flies off the handle a lot. And I mean, Jesus Christ. Divorce is one of the most stressful situations you can be involved in, especially when you're not even living in separate houses. Yeah. It's stressful enough if, like, she texts you and you go blah, 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 and you go back and forth. That's stressful enough. But if everything's on the table and you're living in the same space, incalculable stress going on there. I can't even imagine that shit. So, a friend of Ruben's said, quote, Ruben felt she needed help and he tried to get her help. She turned it around and say that he needed help, which you're not going to.
That's not your position, dude.
No.
You got to stay out of that.
If you're in the middle of a divorce with somebody, you can't say, I'm telling you need help for your own because I care about you.
I made you an appointment today.
Yeah, they're saying, no, you're the crazy one, not me. Fuck that.
Let her lawyer tell her to go get help because that's going to help her in the case.
Exactly. So they just keep fighting and keep fighting to the point where Brooke, the oldest daughter, moves out and moves into a friend's home because she can't take the bickering anymore.
How old is she?
At this point, when she's 18, 17, she's,
she's close to an adult anyway.
Yeah. She was, I think she was 3 in 79, 76 to 76 to 94.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
So, she's 18, 17, 18. She moves in with a friend just because it's too much. Too much for her. Chuck stays at home. He's a little bit younger. And he says, though, quote, mostly I stayed at a friend's house because I didn't want to be there.
Oh, boy.
So this is just, the tension.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking as a dad, like, your kids are leaving because of the tension.
Yeah.
Man. You gotta be able to get this together and be a better dad.
Think about every time someone walks into that house, just the way it feels. That thick tension with a knife.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nightmare.
You show up to get Ruben for a boys' night to go bowling or whatever, and you're just like, I'll stay in the car. Why don't you just come on out? Because I'm not fucking.
I'm going to beep from the street. And you can come on out when you want.
There's no cell phones. This is 94?
Yeah, it's 94.
There's no way to just call him and be like, I'm out front, bro. You got to beep.
Yeah, to hope. Did he hear me? I'm not coming in.
I'll lay on
He'll look out the window.
I'll lay on the horn.
Once it gets past the point when it's time when I should have been here, he'll start looking out the window.
He should.
And he'll see me. So
and if he doesn't, then I'm going to leave in 5 because there's no fucking way I'm knocking on that door.
Maybe they're fighting.
I don't want to see that woman's face.
Yeah. So Brooke says that more than once Diane even threatened Ruben in different ways, and but he took the threat seriously because she would just fly off the handle and they were being a huge fight, and she would say something crazy that would scare him, or something he considered crazy that would scare him to the point where at one point when he would go to bed, he would line up empty mayonnaise jars in a hallway that led down to the cellar door. That way, he says, in the dark, if anybody was walking there, they trip on the mayonnaise jar, send him down the steps, and that's his alarm system.
What?
This is clever.
Broken glass is his fucking...
That's his alarm system. Somebody kicking a mayonnaise jar down basement steps will wake you the fuck up,
wake
though.
You up.
So that's smart, actually. I like what he's... But that's his alarm system.
You're never snoozing that one.
No, so yeah, that's clever, man. I don't know what... That's like when you hear about, totally off the subject, but like how Aaron Hernandez hung himself, and he did all these precautions and put like detergent and all this crazy shit, and you go... That's pretty fucking, I would have never thought of that. Like, that's the first thing I thought. Obviously, it's tragic. Well, yeah, it's crazy. To have somebody in a mental state like that. All that aside, I would have never thought of all that. That's really clever. I really had to think about
Someone
that.
for a mental state being so goddamn, what is the word? I don't know, forethought-ish? What is that? What is the word?
Forethought-ish?
He had so much planning, preparation, so much goddamn the creative ingenuity.
Yeah, that's what it is. I would have never had that ingenuity. I just wouldn't have. Especially
like, where's a fucking nail stud?
Especially if my brain was mushy, I would be like, no. So March 24th, 1994 is the divorce ruling. Comes down from the judge, and this ruling decrees giving the home to Reuben. So Reuben gets the home because I guess he built it. So he gets the home. She is ordered, this is March 24th, she's ordered to move out by April 15th.
Okay.
So she's got 3 weeks to get the fuck out of Dodge, which is...
That's now.
That's now.
Yeah.
That's rough. She was super pissed.
Yeah.
Also, he won physical custody of Chuck. Yeah. And basically they said, you have to give him the kid and get the fuck out of the house by April 15th. So she was not happy with this ruling at all, as you might imagine. Anybody wouldn't be happy with that. Does she take
the other baby with her, though, the one that's hers?
Yes, yeah. She's going to have primary because she's the mother of her, whatever. So Reuben, like I said, he's still putting mayonnaise jars out of his, now he's even doing it even more because now he's really worried. He tells his friends that he's worried that she would, quote, come down and stab him. That's how he's worried. He's like, very, very worried about it. He has other comments too. He said she, quote, may try to bob at me.
Yeah. She's going to take my dick.
If you don't know that reference, that is John and Lorena Bobbitt, who's a woman in the 90s who cut her husband's dick off. Right. It's a very famous case.
Because he was, one way or another, abusing her and cheating on her.
Not only cut it off, cut it off and then drove it somewhere and threw it in the weeds.
She dick napped it.
So that's something.
Did you see the picture of it, by the way?
I don't like graphic shit like that.
There's a Netflix documentary about it, and they flash a quick picture of what they found.
Oh, yeah, I actually did see that.
James.
That was rough.
How did they find that?
I don't know. Impressive.
Wow.
They found it, yeah.
Unbelievable that they found it because there's nothing to it.
How are you going to swing a dick?
You can't swing it.
I found it.
It's between your thumb and forefinger.
It's just a strange thing to...
Is that a mushroom? Oh my God, it's a dick.
It's a strange thing to find.
Yeah.
It's a very weird scavenger hunt.
One of the guys stepped on it.
Yeah.
It's
an odd scavenger hunt. I stepped on your dick.
Then they put it on ice.
Jesus
they ran in like a 7-Eleven, put it on ice, and then hauled ass to the thing where they got it back on the guy.
Oh, shit.
He's so lucky.
That's amazing. How many mayonnaise jars does this man have, by the way?
It's a lot. How much has he eaten?
How often are you going through mayonnaise?
Did he just go to the store and get mayonnaise and then pour it out?
Just scraped it all out and threw it in the garbage. This jar will do. I don't know what it was, but he's got a lot of empty mayonnaise. I'm worried about his mayonnaise consumption at this point. So now Reuben, while she's getting super upset and mad, all his friends said that he became increasingly more happy again and more like himself. He told one of his friends, quote, or one of his friends said, quote, divorce is bad, but it can mean a new life. Reuben had lived in a coffin and now he was going to get possession of his life because he was in the basement before that. And so he's very happy and now he can even more openly be with Judy, and he's excited.
Okay.
Diane, on the other hand, spinning out of control,
She's
livid. Really noticeable in school, especially. The kids all said she kind of went. Before she was always nice. One of her students, though, one of her female students from study hall, said at that point she became, quote, either real nice or a bitch. So that's one of the which sounds like a total 16-year-old. I don't know. She's either real nice or like a fucking bitch sometimes. I don't fucking know. And then they wander away somewhere. You're like, okay,
got it. Mood swings.
Great, thank you. Yeah. So said she seemed depressed a lot, which I mean, I could imagine this.
She's going through it,
and I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter who she is, no matter even if she's difficult to deal with or whatever. Her husband did marry her, and then he ends up having an affair on her, which hurt her, and then divorced her, and then she ends up having to leave her house and. All of this is understandable that she would be fucking upset with this. One of her students said, quote, you could tell she was stressed out then. She'd be crying in class and everybody knew it was about the divorce.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, no.
This is rough, man.
That is horrible.
This is very rough.
And there's always a dick in there going, it's because that dude left her.
That's right. But the sweetest boy, Doug Vest, he talks to her and hangs out with her. And also a friend of his named Tim Quintero. They're kind of, they hang out together and they talk to her a lot. She talks to them. They're also friends with a couple other people that'll come up later. A guy named Josh Yank or Yankee. I don't know. Yanke.
Yeah.
Yankee,
I hope it's Yank.
Josh Yank, and Michael Maldonado, who are also, I think Vest is cousins with Maldonado, and Yank is a friend. I don't know, whatever.
They're all close.
Yeah, Vest, Quintero, and Maldonado are all cousins, and then the Yank guy is just a friend from school. So
we just like having him around.
Make fun of his name. It's fucking hilarious.
Call him Yank all day.
This was so fucking funny, man.
Adds to every situation.
God, it's funny. Every time I just like introducing him to people. No, it's real. That's his name, dude.
It's my boy Yank.
That's his name. Yankin'. So April 2nd, 94 comes around, and she's got to be out in 13 days, and things are really ramping up as far as the aggression goes. This is to a boiling point to hopefully diffuse as she leaves. So Charles, who's now a teenager, he says that he witnessed an argument between Diane and Ruben on April 2nd, and he said that I guess she was leaving, had a bunch of her shit in the trunk. She's moving her stuff out.
This is Chuck.
Chuck saw this.
Yeah.
I guess Diane is moving her stuff out incrementally in carloads, as you do if you have time.
Right.
She had a bunch of stuff in the car. Apparently, she had Susan's sewing machine that belonged to Susan, and Ruben was not having that shit.
No.
He said that's Susan's sewing machine.
Singer, put it back.
Went out to try to get the sewing machine from her car. It was in the trunk of her car, and I guess Diane. Basically, he got her keys, and then she tried to wrestle the keys out of his hand.
Fuck.
She jumped on his back and was hitting him on his she was feet off the ground, hands around the neck, hitting him on the head, trying to get her keys and all that sort of shit. And then she ended up getting the keys and driving off and taking Regan and the dog with them with her. Okay, they have a schnauzer that's tiny that fucking barks at everything.
Yeah.
Every time there's a noise, if a leaf hits the front door, this dog's going to bark until somebody picks it up and moves it away from the door.
Right.
She's one of those dogs. So,
and she takes it with her, too.
And she takes that, too. Takes the dog, takes the daughter, and the sewing machine and drives off, okay? So, Ruben says that he told his daughter, Brooke, that he said just something strange is going on with her, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with her, but something's going on. And I don't know, man. I could never figure it out. That's why I got a divorce. So, I don't know why I'd be able to figure it out any better now.
All right.
One of those deals. So, Judy France, his girlfriend, also said that he told her the same thing. Ruben told Judy that she thought Diane was up to something because she was going out of town, which was weird for her, and it was just strange, basically. Apparently, Ruben and Diane had met up at a park that day, and they were talking, and they met up at the park because Judy said, "Can you meet me at the park? I really have to talk to you," because Diane had showed up on her door at her house, pounding on her front door.
Oh, my God.
They have no reason to talk.
You don't get to do that.
No. So, obviously, Judy didn't come out, and she said Diane just pounded on her door for a while.
Wowza.
She said, quote, "I was afraid. I didn't answer the door," which I don't blame her.
Right.
I mean, that's not a conversation that you really need to have.
No.
So Diane, that same day, she leaves Judy's house, pounds on that door, and heads straight to the sheriff's office. Heads to the sheriff's office, reporting that she was assaulted in an incident with her husband. She says that we were wrestling around. He hurt me. He bruised me in this attempt for the keys. She also says that, she can't. Basically, you need to go talk to him, to the cops, but I won't be around. I'm driving up to Tomahawk, which is in northern Wisconsin, to visit her ex-husband's parents.
Why would you do that?
Which is a weird thing to do. I don't know. This is
the elope guy.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Not that. This is, it's not even, holy crap. I'm sorry. It's not her ex. This is Susan's parents.
What?
This is
his ex?
Ruben's ex's
parents.
Yeah, ex-in-laws or dead in-laws. Not really ex at that point.
I don't know.
They'd still probably technically be
probably
his
call
in-laws.
them that.
Yeah.
She's going up there?
She's going to visit them, which
the kid's
is
grandparents.
She hates Susan.
Yeah.
So it's very strange.
Hates her.
Very strange that she would want
not
to
just
visit
her, her whole fucking memory.
Yeah, I guess she had visited them once in the last few years. She had visited them before for some reason. I don't know if it was to drop the kids off or whatever, but they hadn't seen her in a long time. So they were like, this was weird. She just popped up. Very strange. She just popped up with her daughter and Ruben's Schnauzer. Yeah. So the dog is his. It's his fucking dog. So he's like, great, she took my goddamn dog now. So, by the way, this is 200 miles away. This isn't like an hour up the road. Yeah. This is far, like through the woods of Wisconsin. So,
2.5, 3 hour ride.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you're driving up there. It's very strange. And also, to take the dog was very strange. And I guess she had never taken the dog on a trip before, ever. So this is like the first time she ever took the dog somewhere. So like, what is happening?
A weird thing to do.
What a weird thing to do. So April 3rd, 1994, is Easter morning. Yeah. Can you hear
I can smell the peeps.
Like the cartoon morning music.
Oh, bullshit.
The classical shit there. Yeah, it's you can hear that. Birds are chirping.
Right.
The Easter bunny's hopping away.
Right. I see white chocolate. My mom knows I fucking hate it, and she still bought it. Why are you doing this?
It's on sale,
Stop
Jimmy.
it. God damn it.
It's on sale because nobody
likes it.
I like white chocolate.
I don't like it. My mom always with the fucking white chocolate bunny. Nobody likes that.
No. A bunny's
that's too much.
No, a bunny has got to be
chocolate.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%.
And not hollow. Stop with the fucking hollow one.
Really? Useless.
Yeah.
Useless.
It's nothing.
It's shit. It's always shit.
And in Phoenix in April, it's
destroyed.
90 degrees outside.
I want to say, the whole head is all melted in.
It's all fucked.
It's all concave.
It's all garbage.
No, you need it looks like he's been shot with a 12 gauge.
Right.
You need the solid that you have to get a knife to cut the ears off.
Absolutely.
That's what you want right
and
there.
If it's got the crunchy stuff in it,
baby.
Listen,
come on now.
I'll clean the whole house, Ma.
I'll pretend I believe in Easter.
You blew it, Mom.
No, I won't. But I'll almost pretend I believe that's not
crazy. Your white chocolate bunny, you wonder why my room was a mess.
Yeah. So it's Easter morning, and so obviously he's still in the basement. Yeah. Ruben's still in the basement because she still technically has access to the house and lives there. And Chuck, the 17-year-old, he's in his bedroom on the first floor of the home, and everybody's sleeping. It's early morning. We're talking 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. And Chuck is awakened by a noise. He doesn't know what he heard, but he woke up like, when you wake up after you hear the noise, not in the middle of hearing a noise.
Yeah.
Hear something, you wake up and you go, someone must have woke me up. What the fuck happened there? Yeah. So he listens for a second. And he said, must have been something. And then he hears what he said sounded like a cow mooing. Oh. Like a noise that sounded like a cow mooing. So he was like, what the fuck is going on here? So who let a cow? I mean, it is Wisconsin. I get that there's cows everywhere probably, but nobody let it in the house.
Also, I don't know.
Is it in the yard?
Wisconsin, the things that people eat there, it will make your butt sound like a cow. There's all kind of cow noises going on up there.
They have a sauerkraut eating festival.
They do.
Or a contest at a festival.
They jam cheese curds down their face.
They do.
Deep fried ones that are amazing.
By the way, in Milwaukee, the one thing I do love is a lot of places have enormous oversized soft pretzels that are like the size of a fucking table, and they're amazing.
They'll go on like a hubcap.
They're bigger than that.
Yeah,
one's like, it was huge. It was the size of like a semi steering wheel. It was enormous. It was awesome
for like 95 cents.
It was like $10 or something, but it's like a whole meal. It's enormous. You get like beer cheese with it. I'm like, this is great. I like it here.
Pretzels are so good.
I could always eat a pretzel. Soft, anytime. Soft pretzel. I'm full, but all right. I'll pick at it.
I'll eat at it later.
I'm gonna
put it in my bag.
Yeah,
I might have it in like 2 hours.
Every time we go to Philly, I go because in Philly in the airport, they have those it's like 3 for $5 pretzel lady, like the Asian ladies who sell pretzels in the plastic bags. It's like that kind of oval shaped pretzel, not a pretzel shape.
You throw it in your bag.
I buy like 6 of those, and I survive on them through. In Philly, I'm just gross. I just eat Wawa sandwiches and fucking airport pretzels for like 2-3 days. Love it. So
and then I go down and get one of their quote unquote original cheesesteaks, and I'm sick for 2 days.
Oh yeah, you're gonna.
I can't eat that.
You're not supposed to eat that much cheese whiz. What the hell is wrong with anyone?
Well, those people are tempered. They know how to eat it.
Yeah,
their body's conditioned for that shit.
Yeah,
you can't just introduce that to a whatever the fuck I have here. It's not a cheesesteak factory.
No, it's not.
I don't digest those.
I'm gonna half a can of cheese whiz in a sitting usually. So it's hard to digest.
I can't introduce that to my ahi tuna salad digestion tract.
Maybe you should. It could be good with cheese whiz on it.
It will ruin you.
Oh, yeah.
A cheesesteak in that environment.
They're delicious.
They are.
I choose, if I do get sick, I choose to say something else made me sick. Not the cheese.
I refuse to admit it was that.
It's too good to admit to. I'm like, it must have been that pretzel. I don't know. Pretzels.
Maybe 5 pretzels next time instead of 6.
Is it a gluten thing, man? I don't know what it is. Meanwhile, I ate fucking three fucking
pounds of it.
3 board feet of cheesesteak with fucking cheese whiz on. So that's my fault. So Chuck hears a cow mooing. Is what he hears. He approaches the living room.
Yeah.
Dark out, Easter morning, looking around. Was it the Easter bunny?
Oh.
Imagine the thought
of Easter cow now.
Imagine the thought of, is there a fucking Easter bunny? Like if you're 17 and you haven't believed, but then you hear this thing and you're like, is it? Am I going to go out there and find a basket? How crazy would that be? Do I get Cadbury eggs? All right, well, fuck it.
Are there fucking eggs all over this place now? Are they everywhere? Do I
find them?
Is that the gunshot that I start looking for them now?
That's a starter pistol, it says.
Is it game time?
Game on! Where are they?
Should I get a splunking helmet and a flashlight?
Oh, you know it.
Let's go.
So,
what if you open the door and find a 6-foot bunny that moos?
That's what I mean. That was always my thing as a kid, too. I was always like, so the Easter bunny's like a rabbit.
Right.
And they'd be like, yeah. And I go, but how does it carry a basket? Yeah. Well, he's big. And I'm like, there's a giant. That scared the shit out of me. The thought of a 6'5" rabbit in my room really frightened me and made me not. I was like, that's even worse. Wait a second. So I was like, how does a little rabbit carry an Easter basket? And they were like, wait, he's big. And I'm like, wait a second. Whoa, now you really fucked me up.
And he's waking up and he's hearing these noises. And he's like, cows moo.
Really?
Does the Easter bunny?
Just picture the Easter bunny, like a big freaky 6 foot tall placing a basket, looking away from you, and you're like staring, and he turns to you slowly and says, "Murr." And then puts the basket down and walks away.
And, I mean, right then it would legitimately, you'd be like, that's how they got it so big.
He's like,
obviously.
Like one of the things in The Shining that looks over at him all creepy, but then it moves and he's like, what the fuck? And then
obviously rabbit's been fucking cows around here, and now we've got an Easter bunny. And it's horrifying.
Well, he's laying eggs, so I know he's been fucking chickens too. So
right through those big teeth, he just moos at you.
He's a bunny that fucks cows and then lays eggs. It's a weird holiday thing to tell your kids. That's all I'm saying.
That is horrifying.
As Chuck approaches the living room, now I will say one thing in Wisconsin: it's the woods. Yeah. Everybody has been around hunting, hunters, something. Everyone up there knows what gunpowder smells like after it's been shot in the woods. So when he comes out, he smells burnt gunpowder.
Yeah.
That's what he smells, Chuck. So he's like, I know that smell. What's going on here? So he runs downstairs. The only other people in the house are, he knows his dad is downstairs. He runs downstairs to tell his dad this is going on here. And he runs downstairs and finds Reuben bleeding and slumped over across a chair.
Oh, boy.
So not great. He is apparently, from the looks of it, shot in the chest and the back.
Oh, no.
Twice. With a shotgun. Too.
Oh,
so he is.
Jesus.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen a shotgun wound, it's
makes
not
a mess.
One little hole. It's a big mess. Yeah. So, especially at close range,
tears shit open.
Bad stuff. He is alive though. He's alive, and he's moaning, and he's still conscious even.
Yeah.
So Chuck goes over, calls 911. Holds his dad's hand and all that. So it's going to be okay and whatever.
Oh God, he is in so much pain.
He's in a ton of pain, and they call 911 and all that, and Reuben looks up at his son and says, quote, I can't believe she would do this to me.
Yeah.
And then he passes out.
Oh, no.
And then...
Who, motherfucker, who?
Yeah, so Chuck brings him upstairs to the police, carries him up there and all this type of shit. Chuck tells the police everything he hears, everything he heard, and everything he said. Unfortunately, though, he goes to the hospital and he dies at the hospital.
Of course.
Two shotgun wounds to the torso are rough. It's insane. So this town, this doesn't happen, number one, and number two, in someone's home, it's just crazy. So right away, Brooke is accusing Diane of this whole thing. Right away, Brooke is like, it's fucking Diane. I can't believe it. The reason was for 2 days after the murder, she does not contact the children.
Really?
She doesn't contact her stepchildren to talk to them for 2 days.
Not even to check on them.
Check on them. Are you okay?
Yeah.
anything, nothing. Even logistics, nothing. Nothing. So it's really weird. She even got mad that the obituary had a mention of Susan in it.
Oh,
she got angry and yelled at Ruben's sister Barbara,
who wrote it,
telling her that she threatened to cancel the funeral. She literally threatened to cancel the funeral and cancel all the services and have him buried in a pauper's grave somewhere if the family didn't show her respect as, quote, the grieving wife at the funeral.
Oh, boy.
So she wants to be shown a certain amount of deference, apparently, here. Fuck, man.
Is the divorce final?
Well, the settlement is, yes. I mean, I think it's going.
She's not.
I don't know how
anymore.
she would have, but apparently she's dealing with the arrangements.
Yeah.
And also, Diane also says that Diane's attorney contacts Barbara, Ruben's sister, to tell her that also she will cancel the services if Judy is not kept away from the funeral.
What?
So she's not allowed to go either. So she wants to control this thing. But yeah, that's weird anyway. By the way, this is the town's first homicide in 20 years. 20 years. They hadn't had a homicide since Nixon was in office.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And this one's happening in somebody's house.
Yeah, it's on a holiday morning in a 65% religious town. It's weird shit. Ruben's friend here says, quote, "This is a town where you can walk in the dark without any concerns." Well, it sounds like it.
Except for the Mayo thing.
Watch your step. Watch your step, yeah. So the district attorney is trying to, ask around, get the police to gather the facts here, because he's interested in solving this. People are freaking the fuck out. He was a well-liked guy, well-known guy. He finds out, the police find out that in February 1994, Judy relays to them that Ruben had come to her and said that Diane, in February, apparently grabbed him by the head and kissed him hard on the lips.
Oh.
And then told him, "You're dead."
Wow.
In like a, Michael Corleone, Fredo type of way. Like, "You broke my heart." And it was that sort of thing. Grabbed his face and kissed him hard. I knew it was you, Fredo. So police are trying to figure this whole thing out. There are some anonymous tips here that lead, and we'll find out who they're from in a minute here, but there's some anonymous tips that lead the police to want to talk to Vest, the Vest kid, Doug Vest. Yeah, they want to talk to Doug, and Doug doesn't take too long to have a story here.
No?
Doug says that basically that she started bringing up that, maybe I can get rid of my husband, and then maybe you can help me get rid of my husband. And he kept saying he didn't want any part of it, but she kept saying that she would come at him with money. Say, "I'll give you money. I'll give you from the insurance. I'll give you $20,000. I'll give you a car. Wow. I'll give you I got my jewelry. You can have my engagement rings and all this type of shit." Offering him money to try to help. And he said he didn't want to.
Right.
And he said after that, she had basically what the court kind of has been calling her enforcer. She has a 19-year-old woman named Shannon Johnson, who's a former student, who is like her mini-me, I guess.
She's a bad
you could call
bitch.
it. She just worships the ground Diane walks on. Will do anything for her. We'll talk about exactly how dedicated she is to Diane. It's next level dedication. It's like, wow, unnatural level. No one would be that dedicated to their fucking mother, never mind to the study hall teacher.
I can't wait to find out why.
Very weird. So apparently this Doug says that he says that Johnson threatened to kill him if he didn't go through with it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, to have him killed. She said she knew she had gang connections and something, and she was going to have him killed.
The bad bitch said that.
Yeah, that's Shannon Johnson. So he also said that he never agreed to kill Ruben. He never asked for any money, and he never wanted anything to do with it. Okay. He said that he only went to the home that night. He does admit he was there. He said because of pressure from her and pressure from Shannon Johnson. Wow. They said they threatened to kill her. They threatened to kill his mother, is what they said. We'll kill your mother if you don't kill Ruben. Right. So now, if they're willing to kill his mother, why don't they just kill Ruben? Right. That's what I would have said. Yeah. You're willing to kill my fucking mom?
You're going to kill people.
It'd be way easier for you to kill Ruben. Right. My mom doesn't even know you. So,
but I can see the distancing of themselves.
It's a throw mama from a train situation, I guess. At that point, if they killed both, it'd be silly. Right. Yeah. So crisscross.
That's what it is.
That too, but it's crisscross, like in the movie. So crisscross. Oh my God. Vest talks to the police, saying he wanted the prosecution. They have to paint that Vest did this for money because they can't say he's a good guy. Yeah. But they also. He's saying she offered him a fuckload of money. He's just saying he didn't want to do it. He said he rejected these suggestions. He said that he would change the subject when she would bring it up. He said there were at least 5 occasions when she said she wanted her husband killed. He said he mostly took the conversations all took place at study hall. During study hall.
She's hiring a hitman at
study hall, which is a bad place to find a hitman.
Not the best.
If you're looking for a hitman, and I don't suggest it or recommend it, but look farther than 4th period study hall, please.
I'm sure one's been found there, and I'm sure it's worked out for somebody.
But it's not common.
No,
it's probably not.
That's not the best place.
Or you find the best veteran murderers that are going to know what to do.
It's usually not Doug.
Yes. Jesus Christ. This started coming up, I guess, about 8 weeks before the murder. So 2 months she's been talking about this. Doug said that, quote, she started crying and said she hated her husband, Ruben, and she didn't know what to do. She asked me if I would kill him. I didn't want to hear about it. She offered me money, rings, her cars, everything here. So he said he didn't want to do it. But
think about that.
He said he ended up he recruited his cousin, Michael Maldonado, who is 16 at this point. He's a high school dropout.
Who loves cars.
He likes cars, apparently, here. He doesn't know any of these people. No. He's never met Diane. Doesn't know who the fuck Ruben is. Doesn't know anything. He's just his cousin's like, hey, we got to go fuck this dude up, and we're going to get cars and shit. And he was like, cool.
All right.
That was that. So apparently, basically, Doug Vest, this is the way I look at it. Doug Vest is a 17-year-old kid. He's got this adult telling him, look, I want you to do this, this, and this. We'll give you money. He feels important for a minute because he's from Jefferson, Wisconsin. He's from a small town. He's a kid that's probably leads a pretty boring fucking life.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. He probably felt cool. So while he was putting together a murder squad, like, I'll get my friends and we'll do this. To him at the time, he thought he was he felt like a gangster. I'm recruiting people to put together a hit squad, so we're going to get paid on this hit. Like, he felt like I'm a badass. You know what I mean?
God, Jesus, that's fucking wild, man.
But I feel like that's the feeling he had.
I can see it, yeah.
But he also says when it got to the point of it happening, he didn't want to do it anymore.
No.
He backed out because he just wanted to talk about it because that would make him feel like a tough guy. But he doesn't actually want to kill anybody.
He's got to go take a man's life.
That's a different story. So I guess he apparently, his cousin Michael is the one who had the shotgun, and they came into the house. It was about 3 a.m. By the way, with a hand-drawn map that she made for them, that he saved for later, which is helpful.
Cold-hearted bitch.
Oh yeah, and went into the house, and basically they said they left Yank outside. Yank is the lookout. There, and they said that. You know, he said that he attempted to back out, but that Michael was going through with it because he wanted to get paid and all this type of shit. So he followed Michael Maldonado through an unlocked door because she had left it unlocked for him. It's about 3:30 a.m. He says, this is Vest, quote, I ran after him because he didn't want to go in alone. I saw a gunshot flash and I saw Ruben fall down. That's what he said. He said he didn't shout to warn Ruben. He didn't want him to be killed, but he didn't shout to warn him because, you know, if he did, then he said, quote, because I might wake somebody up and we shouldn't have been in there. Well, it's probably better than someone dying.
Also, a shotgun blast is louder than "Hey Ruben."
Yeah, "Hey Ruben," and that wouldn't have stopped anything. So he's saying that she hired me. So the police go and they arrest Doug Vest. They arrest Maldonado as well at first here. This is September 29th, 1994. Apparently, she had offered $20,000 from insurance, her wedding and engagement rings, and 2 cars. which is interesting.
How are you going to explain that shit?
Yeah.
What, they bought those from you?
Yeah, my study hall teacher gave them to us because we're good study hall students.
We work real hard.
We do other classes' homework in there really well. So finally, Doug says, quote, I can't explain how he got involved about his friend, about Michael. Mm-hmm. He says the money must have looked good to a 16-year-old. So according to this, Diane gave Josh a $600 down payment.
$600.
$600. $20,000, but here's $600 for now.
No.
Which never works out, as we've covered many times.
You're never going to see 19.4.
Yeah, that's the thing. So he recruited Josh Yank, and everybody says this is a quote on Josh Yank that everybody agrees with. He's, quote, very shy, a chicken. He stutters a lot when he's scared.
Oh, my God.
What one of his friends said.
He pisses his pants sometimes.
That's the thing. He's got a loose valve. We'll put it that way. That's our guy. That's the third member of the hit squad.
Blowing snot bubbles when he breathes.
This is why in crime and sports we have a rule.
Yeah.
Never have a teenager in your hit squad because it gets you caught every time. Never have 3 teenagers as your entire hit squad because that's always bad.
And one with like everything, including peanut allergies and asthma.
Yeah, he's in there. He's out there with the inhaler.
All right, let's go get him.
Okay, guys, let's go. All right. Hold on, my psoriasis is acting up. Wait, let me scratch for a minute. Does anybody have a Claritin?
I feel like I can't breathe. Did somebody bring a peanut butter sandwich? Is that around?
Somebody got what is that? It's like a sweater. That's I'm allergic to
cashmere.
I'm allergic to. That's a mohair. I'm allergic to it. I know. Every time.
All right, let's get him. On 3, I'm a bad motherfucker.
Let's do this, yeah.
On 3, I'm a bad motherfucker.
Okay, go. Let's break.
Can't breathe.
This isn't exactly like the Gambino squad, John Gotti, Paul Castellano hit squad here of, gangsters.
It's a fucking mouth breather.
No, literally, Michael Maldonado lives close by, so they thought that would be...
There's a house with its light on. Yeah. Do you want to help us?
Well, all right, sure. Why not? So, Jesus Christ. After it happened, all of her students, she gets arrested. Her students are surprised, the ones who she didn't ask to kill her husband. Yeah. Anyway, they said, quote, no one thought she'd be involved in it, and everyone's surprised she asked students to do it. Then somebody else, this is you picture this resident of the town, quote, she was mingling with children, acting as if nothing happened, and she had just blown away her husband. She's cold as ice. You can see that guy right there. She's cold as ice.
He's a tough fella.
And he walked away.
Right.
Didn't have anything else to say.
Had a brat with some sauerkraut on it and waddled away.
That's it. More kraut, please. Another student named Heather said, quote, she's helped me through a lot of personal problems. Sometimes when I was up in study hall, I'd just start to cry and she'd come over and talk to me, and sometimes we'd cry together. It's a lot of students saying shit like that. October 2nd, 1994, Josh Yank turns himself in because they're looking for him here.
Well done, Yank.
Yeah, well done here. October 10th, 1994, Diane's looking for bail. Because when you hire teenagers to murder your husband, you should get bail, right? Well, she does. And she makes bail.
What?
$150,000 from an uncle in Indiana.
Wow.
To bail her out.
He gave her that much?
Gave her that much fucking money.
1.5? Is that what that is?
I guess so, yeah. $150,000 or just $150,000 cash. No fucking
cash pawn.
Yeah, they'll do that. So, but she gets it, and she gets out on fucking bail. Well, she never thought she was going to see the outside.
She's up on murder charges.
Yeah, and worse, to hire people. It's even worse. It's just like, because you could do that from anywhere.
Right.
You could be in a wheelchair, and you could have people can die still. You could have no use of your limbs, and still you could have people killed. That's frightening. If you did it yourself, at least if we put you in a box, then you won't kill any more people. But if you're just hiring people to do it, Jesus. So they say October 18th, she's going to stand trial, but she's going to remain free on bail. But she doesnn't stand trial then. They end up postponing it. October 19th, they decide that Michael Maldonado will be tried in adult court as an adult.
Oh.
He was 15 when this happened.
Oh, no.
I have a hard time with that.
That's tough.
I know that this country goes through periods where we hate kids.
Yeah.
We go through periods where kids are our biggest threat, and they should be put in jail at the rate. It happened in the 60s. Kid Watch Crime Wave, and then when we were kids in the 90s, it was just, you do anything, we'll throw you in jail. How you like that, you little fucker?
We'll treat you like an adult.
There was no...
You want to do big boy crimes, you'll do big boy time.
Yeah, there was no thought of, hey, this kid's 14, maybe we can turn him around. It was just like, criminal, put him away. That's what we get now. I'm tired of this. All these drugs and kids, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, honestly. They would criminally charge kids for anything when we were kids, they're getting away from that a little bit now, where they're trying to be a little more reasonable and try to figure out what helps. But
what did that?
It was just the scariness. Central Park 5 was one, which turned out to not even be fucking kids doing anything, but that was the thing of it, and it was just the 90s general, and it was
West
from
Memphis 3.
It was from the 80s. That was later, but it was from the 80s. It was the crack epidemic, and these kids now, 16-year-olds, are killing each other over Jordans, and it was from like 88 when that whole fucking people get shot over Jordan shoes came out. 88 to like, basically Columbine. Once Columbine happened, everyone went, hey,
white kids in suburban America are murdering each other.
Maybe we should talk to them. That's what happened. So very weird.
Maybe we should stop throwing pills down their throat and have a chat.
Whoa! We gave him Adderall and he still did this. Wow, weird, strange. So the next day, Josh Yank is ordered to adult court as well, and then this next day, same thing for Doug Vest. So everyone's getting tried as an adult here. Obviously, Diane is because she's 30 something. So now, November 7th, 1994, Diane pleads innocent to murder. It's December 15th, 94, just in time for the holidays. All 3 teenagers plead innocent for murder as well.
Okay.
That's could have been a carol. Could have been a very sweet carol.
We're innocent.
Innocent, we're innocent. We have not killed a man. We're innocent. Lord Christ has risen innocent in my... I don't know.
That's hilarious. Christmas songs for a murder on Easter.
I was even harmonizing. I'm innocent. Innocent.
Yeah, like the judge,
he's innocent. He's innocent.
Waving each one on.
Conducting with his gavel.
And you, bring it in.
Prosecutors
and bring it home.
Bring it home. Prosecutors like, you know what? We're gonna make a deal here. This. I feel like these 3 have a future.
It's obvious that the 3 of these were in cahoots because they figured this part out.
Listen to the harmony.
They get along so well.
It's like a 3-man white boys to men over here. What are we talking about? So January 11th, 1995, Josh Yank pleads no contest to murder because he's got no leg to stand on and he's got the least involvement. So he's the guy you can get to plead the easiest here.
Get 5 years out of this, hopefully.
He agreed to plead no contest to a reduced charge of second-degree intentional homicide with a dangerous weapon in exchange for his testimony against any and everybody that they want him to testify against, and a recommendation by prosecutors that he be sentenced to no more than 13 years.
Wow.
So that's the deal, which 13 would get you about 6.5 you'd have to do.
It's a lot, though.
It's a lot for a 17-year-old. So Josh says in court, quote, I just wanted to say to everyone that I'm sorry for what I've taken part in. I just want to go on with the rest of my life and do what I can. I'm sorry for it all. So the judge told him, quote, Mr. Yankee, whatever, you and your ilk created an atmosphere of fear in this community. Atmosphere of fear. Mr. Borchards's children will experience his loss as long as they live. His death was just a means of personal financial gain for you. You, sir, may fuck off. 18 years. So the judge said, you can agree to whatever you want. I'm giving you an extra 5. Means he'll be out in about 9 is what his lawyer says. You got to do about half the time there at that point. So, I mean, could have been worse. He did participate in a fucking murder. So anybody who participates in a murder, I'd say a decade is not out of the question. I mean, it wasn't like it was an accident or something.
Like a lot. But that's still...
That was an intent.
You did it. You were there.
It's not like it was like...
You didn't tell them don't.
You didn't get in a fight with some guys in a parking lot. Like, you went there to a man's home.
Where he was asleep.
Asleep on a Saturday night. That's disgusting. That's
pretty scummy.
That's as bad as you can do, I think. So, February 22nd, 1995, Doug Vest's trial begins. Now, he agreed to plead guilty, but then he pulled his guilty plea back and said, no.
You want the trial?
I want a trial.
Oh, boy.
He's going to say, well, it makes sense, though. Think about this. All right, think about this.
He's going to go with like a...
let's flip this.
Yeah.
He's a 17-year-old boy.
A youth.
Let's say at the time,
horny youth,
a 34-year-old teacher, 34-year-old male teacher talked a 17-year-old girl into killing his wife. Who's the asshole there?
Joey Buttafuoco, you motherfucker.
Who's the asshole there? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People are coming down way harder on him than her. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
Right.
So they're trying to basically, because they wanted him to plead to like second-degree murder, and they're like, they wouldn't make a girl plead a second-degree murder. So they're trying to play it like he's a child who's manipulated by an adult in a position of control over him.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be on him.
But I don't know, man.
But
a jury's not going to buy that.
Your 17-year-old
can do that.
The girl, it would be different if it wasn't for financial gain. Yeah. If he was like, we're in love.
Right.
Me and Diane have been having an affair and we're in love and we're going to go get married. And she told me that if I killed her, then if I killed him, we could be together. Right. I'd go, oh, that's fucking horrible. Right. She's even more of a monster. But he was like, I get 20 grand in a car. That's cool. Like, that's totally different.
Yeah.
Totally fucking different.
Right.
So, yeah, he backs out of his agreement. They, Jesus Christ, the prosecutors are a little bit pissed off about this because they thought they had him, going to testify against everybody. His big thing is that not only was she pushing it on him, but that he was threatened by Shannon Johnson, her henchman there, who was 20 years old. He called her Diane's lesbian lover.
Well,
quote, lesbian lover and henchman. That's how she was characterized in court.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I have no idea. Who cares? But that really doesn't fucking matter. It's really irrelevant whether they were fucking or not.
Sure makes the story fun.
I mean, it makes it a little salacious, but it doesn't, in terms of murder, really doesn't matter.
It's pretty awesome that she's like threatening a boy, and then she's like, you don't believe me? This bitch used to go to school here.
Yeah.
And now she's munching my box and she'll kill your mom.
And she'll kill your mom. How do you like that? That's threatening.
That's horrifying.
She'll kill your mom.
That's so scary.
Well, anybody killing your mom. I don't think the munching made a difference in that. I think that would make you fear her more.
It's horrifying because then it proves like right there that they have zero use for you.
Yeah. You're it's
so
those
useless.
two and you're on the outside looking into that. I got you.
All we want you to do is kill a man. We want nothing to do with you.
No shit. The prosecutor said we tried to negotiate the defense said we tried to negotiate the lower charge with the state, but they would not agree. So he said that had to back out. This is what Vest says that the lawyer for him says she offered him sex, but he turned her down. She says that at one point he says that she kissed him at one point, trying to be like, "I'll fuck you too," and he was like, "That's okay." So she says, the lawyer says, quote, he rejected her sexual overtures. In fact, he cringed at the idea. She's like, you're 17. You didn't cringe at the idea.
No.
You were like, later, I'll be right back.
I mean, I've got fifth period, but
then,
I mean,
wide open.
After that, free day.
Dick just rock hard, swinging in the wind, wide open. All day long. So he was, they said, why would they be afraid of Shannon Johnson, some chick, she's a teenager just like you. What are you afraid of her for? And he said, quote, they knew of her reputation. She was involved in gang activity and could carry through with her threats with gang retaliation. Yeah. So that's what they said here.
The lesbian gangster.
Yeah, this is a lesbian gangster. So apparently so.
That's a thing.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's a thing, but
it's pretty salacious in the newspaper. I think that's why they're going.
Sell
they're
some favors.
Lesbian gangster couple hires teen hit squad to murder husband in basement on Easter morning. That's a fucking headline. It's a big one, but Jesus, people are like, whoa, what's going on here? You're cracking that paper open. If you live in a small town, holy shit.
It's a lot of wild facts we didn't know were going on in this town.
Never mind the Sheep and Wolf Festival. This is way more interesting. Jesus Christ. So, he said that he told them the thing about stopping by the store to get the print shop, to get the sweaters that he had, the sweatshirts. And he said that she told him that the sweatshirts weren't ready yet. So, she also then said, you're going to kill my husband? And he was like, no, but I'll pick up the shirts later. Yeah. He said, just every time. So how's it going? Are you going to kill him? No? All right. Well, here's your shirts and I'll see you tomorrow. It's very weird. Yeah. He said he returned a few hours later to get the shirts and she gave him an envelope while he was standing there. He said he knew it was money. Obviously. So he said then after she handed him the envelope with the money, then Shannon Johnson walked over and threatened him. This is the quote. Johnson said that, quote, I better do this or she was going to kill me and my mom. There was that.
Here's your 6 sweaters.
Here's your sweaters. So he said he left the shop scared, where he went to his car, and that's where his other two friends were waiting.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, this is what's going on.
Right.
I got this money, and she wants me to kill this girl, and just got her husband, and they're threatening to kill my mom and all this shit. So they were like, all right, cool. Yeah, he says, quote, there was a discussion, and we ended up at the Borchard house. He said there was no planning at all, and he said at the last minute, the Josh Yankee guy tried to back out. Yank tried to back out, and he said that's when Maldonado grabbed the gun from Doug Vest and said, quote, let's just go do this. That's what they're all saying here. He insisted that it wasn't planned at all. He said even on the car on the way there, he said there was no discussion of duties or anything like that, like you do this and I'll do that. Right. None of that shit. So they asked him, quote, you mean this all just fell into place? And he said yes. It's not too hard to just shoot somebody, I guess. That's why. I mean, the dismount's the part where you got to plan for.
Right.
So he said that he relayed information from Diane that included which door of the house would be open and, a map of the house all drawn and all that kind of shit. Josh's job, he unplugged one of the phones, which he was supposed to unplug the phones, but apparently Josh unplugged one of the phones and then ran away to the car. Got scared. So, yeah. Everyone's saying it's kind of not disputed that Maldonado was the trigger man.
Okay.
Everybody says that. So, but he's saying, not my fault, coerced.
Yeah.
March 4th, 95, the verdict comes in. The jury has their say on it, and they say, guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're guilty, dude.
Everybody?
Just him so far. That's just him. March 13th, 95, Diane is put in jail. She's actually jailed. Her trial is postponed 3 days later. They yank her bail they never could figure out why they yanked her bail. If it was something she did, or if they were thinking that maybe she was a threat on the outside to witnesses or something like that. It was an intimidation factor. Not sure. But they also arrest Shannon Johnson for conspiracy to commit murder and for perjury for lying in a hearing about shit.
This bitch.
So, yeah, April 19th, 1995, Michael Maldonado's trial starts, and this little asshole, his trial here, he says he was nowhere near the scene. He was home in bed sleeping. He's innocent.
Okay.
So that's his
not a good story.
It's a story.
I don't know. I was in the bathroom. That's the one he's going to go with. It never works.
So April 22nd, 1995, there are custody battles here for Regan, the daughter. Regan, I guess, in Ruben's will, he had a couple of Steve and Barbara Kulo was supposed to be their guardians, as according to the will, but she said she didn't want to live with them. So she says that she's still saying her mother's innocent and all this. She says that the Kulos believe her mom is guilty and that she doesn't want to live with them because of that. So her lawyer, she has a lawyer too, Regan, asked the judge to, take Regan's wishes into consideration, and she had been staying with a couple called the Schilers since June, and she would want to stay there. So the lawyer said stability in this girl's life is what she needs right now more than anything else, and the Schilers are the only people that she trusts, and it's a stable environment for her. So they said yes, good.
Okay, good. I was just about to say, the judge right now has a responsibility to make sure that girl's fucking head stays okay.
Yeah.
And forcing her to be somewhere where she doesn't want to be is crazy.
There was also another couple, John and Vicky Roth, who were also trying to get custody. So there was plenty of people willing to take them in, which that's supportive and great. And they all had sought guardianship, and they all said they wanted to reunite her with her siblings as well, who they are not talking right now.
Really?
They think they're sure Diane killed her dad, and Regan's saying Mom didn't kill Dad.
Wow.
So it's getting a little weird.
Oh, so Regan's sticking with the fact. Look, a dude shot him.
Yeah, not my mom. Exactly.
Right.
So
she doesn't even understand how this works.
She's in denial. It's her mom. Her dad's dead, and now her mom's like the other kids, they already lost their mom, so it's one of those things. Now, Maldonado, back to his case, April 28th, he is found guilty of murder here. For his sentencing, a lot of his family's there, also a lot of Ruben's family's there, and it's a tense situation, we'll put it that way. The judge says, quote, the defendant did it purely and simply for money, very little money, and I believe for the thrill of it. This person acts without emotion, only by greed and contract. Yikes. They let some of the family members talk here. One here, Michael Kulo, the guy who was there, he says, quote, you're going to have a rough rest of your life here, Michael, but I think you deserve it. He said that, Maldonado deprived Ruben of being able to, to see the birth of his grandson that Brooke just had.
Yeah.
Brooke just had a baby and named him Reuben after the father there. And he said, quote, Mike might be one of the youngest 3 juveniles, but streetwise, and I think the smartest of the 3 is what he says. And the judge says, I agree with that. You, sir, may fuck off 49 years in jail.
Wow.
Yeah, he banged him good. That's a lot.
What was the other guy's name? Kulo?
Kulow.
Got it. Okay.
Kulo, yeah.
Kulo.
So
you don't want that spelled.
No,
like
well,
that.
that's
Spanish asshole.
Spanish ass. It's not going to work.
That's tough stuff.
It is. That's rough, man.
What's his first name?
Steven.
Steven Spanish ass. That's
Steven
not good
Spanish
at all.
asshole. So Maldonado is gone. 49 years. The prosecutor wanted 50 to 75.
Oh.
And the judge stopped just short of 50 with the 49. So there you go. Now, May 2nd, 1995, Doug Vest is getting sentenced. He tried to really fight it hard, and you, sir, may fuck off life in prison for Doug.
My word.
Doug set that old thing up.
He struggled so hard, and they still got him.
Life.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So May 8th, 1995, Diane's jury selection begins here. Now, May 12th is the trial starts. One of the first things we got to talk about is the fact that he said, Reuben, as he was dying, I can't believe she did this to me.
Right.
Okay. Now, this is what can be called an excited utterance. Okay. There's a certain way that you're allowed, that the dead people's words can be allowed. And it's very specific in terms of, let's say you're shot in the street and you're dying.
Yeah.
Okay. And a cop comes up to you and he's trying to help you and paramedics are coming and you say, Tony shot me.
Yeah.
He fucking shot me, walked right up to me and he fucking shot me, and then you die 5 minutes later.
Right.
That's not admissible in court.
Not admissible.
Not admissible. But
yep.
If you said, I'm dying and Tony killed me, admissible in court.
Really?
If the paramedics told you there's a good chance you're going to die and then you said Tony did it, that's admissible in court.
Oh.
You have to, the person who's dying has to know they're dying.
Right.
And know that this is like a last declaration.
Solve my murder. Avenge me.
Avenge me. That's the only way that's allowed. It's called an excited utterance. So
interesting.
They're calling this an utterance though, and they're letting it in. That part, okay? They're saying
he knew.
That's what they're saying. Yeah. So that's always a fight because that's always a gray area.
But all he said was she. It could have been, I don't know, the lesbian gangster.
Who knows? Or his girlfriend or the lady at 7-Eleven. Who knows?
It was just a female. That's all we know at this point.
Cashier at aisle 4 at the Piggly Wiggly. I don't know why she did it. I know I got 12 items and I come to the 10 line all the time, but I didn't think it was to this.
I didn't think it was going to come to this.
I thought I'd just put back the trident. Oh, Christ. So one of the witnesses here is Charles, the son, and Charles says he was home. He says he witnessed an argument the day before where the sewing machine thing, jumping on the back and the kicking and the punching and the whole deal, and also the fact that she took the dog with her. And she said it's weird because she's never taken the dog anywhere before. And they said, let me ask you a question. When someone comes to a door, is the dog quiet? And he goes, never shuts the fuck up.
So,
if you were going to let somebody in, you wouldn't want that dog around waking everybody up.
Disarmed the alarm.
Absolutely, she did. So, and because she wasn't there, he didn't put his mayonnaise jars up that night.
Right.
Because she wasn't around.
And she hauled ass 4 hours away.
Exactly. I'm good for the night, thank God.
Suspect she's here.
Exactly. So Vest refuses to testify now. Mm-hmm. Now, as he refuses to testify, he's saying no.
Yeah, why would you? You got life in prison.
Reads from a card claiming his rights against self-incrimination, refusing to answer questions. It's fucking amazing. He just he had claimed though that he was paid basically $600 in cash because they say, okay, fine. They just let a statement in from the police and they read it. So they're like, good. You don't have to testify. We have your whole statement. Fuck you.
Sit there, asshole, while everybody looks at you.
And it's you've been convicted already, so go away. So the $600 cash, $20,000, everything we've said before. They read in that he brought the other two in, the whole deal. So it's weird that he would refuse. He basically said, I'll cooperate, and then said, never, and then just wouldn't do shit. Shannon Johnson has to testify. They call Shannon Johnson. Boy, this is an interesting one. Shannon Johnson, she said she calls her Miss B. She calls Borchardt here. She tells the jurors here that she met with Vest 2 months after Easter Sunday murder to get the details of the murder so she could put them in a suicide note along with a confession to prevent the arrest of Diane. Okay.
She was going to kill herself?
She was going to kill herself. She says, quote, I was going to leave a note and kill myself. I didn't want Miss B to get caught. She had so much more to live for than I did. I didn't want Regan to be without a mother or father, she said. So she was planning. She said she was basically, she asked the location. She asked where the murder weapon was so she could go get it and put her fingerprints on it, because she said she wanted to seal the plot and tell them where the gun was. And here's my note, and divert police away from Diane, who she characterized as a mother figure and someone that she would, quote, do anything in the world to protect, including kill herself.
Wow.
So maybe I have a hard time feeling that you would do this with a motherly figure that you knew from high school.
No.
This is either a relationship or a mother, one of the two.
She's incredible in bed.
Something.
She's got to be.
It's the only way people do shit like that for each other. Like I said, unless, I don't know if Diane, when Shannon was 4, Diane rushed into a burning house and took her out, or something. That's the only other way I could think.
Did Diane get Shannon off of fucking meth or something?
That's what I mean.
What did she do for her that was so great that you'd kill yourself and take the rap for a murder?
And she said that she did threaten to kill Vest if he didn't carry out the murder, or if she told on Diane because she didn't want Diane to be arrested. She said that Daniel Vest said that Johnson said Johnson told everybody, she asked, quote, are you really going to do it? And she said he responded, quote, I won't get caught, at which point she said, you better not rip her off. That's what Shannon said. Like, you better fucking do it. You better not take her money and rip her off. I'll kick your fucking ass.
Wow. Steal this $600.
Yeah. So Vest's attorney, though, attacks her, saying that her statements came only after a proposed plea agreement that would dismiss her murder charges against her. The district attorney says it was dropped because there's no evidence that she actually participated. She still faces perjury charges because she lied during a probe hearing earlier. Now there's a non-murderer witness, which is what we really need. Someone who never threatened to kill anyone or participated in this murder.
Okay.
Somebody there.
Somebody with some credibility.
Yeah. This is a kid named Tim Quintero. We talked about him earlier. He's a guy who she'd asked him about it earlier too. He's not a convicted killer, and he hasn't lied about anything. So his testimony here, he says that she had asked me to do it too. He said she had asked him, quote, to do something to her husband because she wanted to get rid of him, and then she drew him a map of how he could get to her home and fulfill the request. He says that he was told by his cousin, Doug Vest Jr., that, the details of the murder later on. He didn't do it, though. He says that he said he knew about the money offer made to Vest about a month before the murder. And, he said he knew about the map. The map was drawn about a month before the murder. She drew it on the back of a study hall excuse slip while he sat and watched, which is insane. So he said there's no mistake. There's something harm to come to her husband. She wanted to get rid of him. He said that they said, well, why'd you keep this map if you weren't going to do anything? The defense tried to paint it like you were in on this. Right. And he said, quote, for the protection of my family.
Oh, boy.
He said he kept the map just so they knew that she couldn't just say, I don't know what happened. Those kids did it. I had nothing to do with it. When asked what he meant, he said, quote, they, Maldonado and Vest, could get in trouble for the whole thing, and she, Diane, would get away free. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, it's not.
It's smart of him to keep that shit. May 20th, 1995 is the verdict. Now, the jury goes into his 6th hour of deliberation, returning for its second day on a Saturday morning. So the defense feels pretty good about that. They feel good. It's not a quick conviction. They're talking about it. This is good shit. But they come back after a few hours and say, you are guilty. Guilty. She started crying in court. Diane did. She sat with her head buried over here and, being upset. Sure. There was a loud cheer from the other side, the Borchardt section here. But across from there, they have all of his families over there cheering and hugging. But on her side, all by herself, is Regan, who is not there. She's not part of that. Not part of that anymore. not that they don't want her to be, but she
by choice
she's taking her mom's side. So I mean, and I get it. She's a 15-year-old kid. She doesn't want it to be true that her mom killed her dad. Holy fuck, more understandable I could not be. I feel terrible for this young kid. Imagine being that age.
Oh, I can't.
And not only that, you're in a small town and there's all this publicity and it's your mom killed your dad, and your mom, is she a lesbian? Was she fucking teenage kids too? This one, that one, what was that like? That's
first murder in 20 years.
Gotta be a nightmare for this poor girl. I feel so bad for her, man. So she, oh Christ, she's there. She said she had a neighbor trying to talk to her. She's been estranged from her family members for supporting her mother. And she says, quote, I believed in her. I knew she didn't do it. She was not involved in the killing of my dad. She's still saying that.
I got news for you.
Yeah, Brooke here, the sister, Brooke said that she's make it her goal here to reunite the family. She says about Regan, quote, she's my sister. Diane stole her from all of us by doing this. She said, quote, I know Dad would have forgiven Diane. He was a very religious man and knows that God is all forgiving. Myself, I don't know if I can forgive her. I don't know my feelings. I just know that I never thought anybody would do this to my dad. Yeah. Very honest. Now, his mother, Ruben's mother, Sadie, she also made a statement. She said all the family can rest easier now, and then sobbed her way away here. So Steve Kulo, his friend, said, quote, the mastermind has finally been put away. Now Ruben can rest. Makes sense. And then his sister, Ruben's sister, said, quote, she can't hurt anybody else anymore. So everybody's pretty happy. Yeah. Even the Anita Vest, who is Doug Vest's mother.
Yeah, the one that's lucky to be alive.
Yeah, she said, quote, justice has been done. Mm-hmm. She wasn't upset by this, actually. They said that, she said, I guess that's what it is. It is what it is, man. I mean, fuck you, man. This is just so many people's lives.
How long did she get?
Tragic. We're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
I was like, wait, what?
We're getting there.
Okay.
So she ruined, this is here, quote, she ruined 4 families and stole my dad from me, is what Brooke said. And she at that point was holding her newborn son, saying that, named Ruben after her dad. Yeah. That's very nice. She never got to see the kid. They said she had no regrets. Diane didn't testify.
No.
And the lawyer says he has no regrets in not having her testify. She will later on say she had a lot of regrets that she didn't testify. Right. If you lose, you always say that. The lawyer said, quote, it was my decision, and if I had to do it over again, I would do the same. She wanted to testify, but felt the state had not met its burden of proof to convict her. She said that they had talked briefly after the verdict, and Diane hadn't said anything. The lawyer said, quote, she was crying and upset about her daughter. Yeah. So the prosecutor said, the prosecutor said, yeah, I was nervous that they were going to acquit, but she said they had a lot of evidence to consider. It was a bit nerve wracking, but I figured they would make the right decision. They said, well, what's the recommendation going to be for sentencing? And they said that the final recommendation will be, quote, it will be longer than Doug Vest.
Oh.
She faces life in prison plus 10 years for hiring a child to commit murder and for the involvement of a gun in the murder. And the judge has the right to set a date when she'll be eligible for parole. Wisconsin, life means life. That's the law there.
Really?
So the judge can set a thing if I recommend parole. Yeah, right. It could be life, but I recommend parole in 40 years. Right. You can look at her or whatever. Yeah. So February 8th, 1996 is the sale of their home, and she's upset about this. She protests about all this. A judge ordered her home sold and half the proceeds given to Brooke and Chuck there, and she says the judge says the home will be sold to somebody for $186,000, 50% given to Ruben's children, and 50% held in an escrow account for Diane.
Really?
Because it's half hers.
Oh, and she's still alive.
She's still alive. It's half her house.
That's fucked up.
She opposed the sale of the house, saying she wanted Regan, her daughter, to live with her daughter to receive the entire share of the proceeds, along with 1/3 of the other half.
What?
She wanted her to get 1/3 of the kids' half and then put all of her stuff in Regan's name. Wow. That's what she wanted, basically. But they didn't do that. Which, I mean, what are you going to do?
Whatever it is.
Yeah. So But that request was actually opposed by the attorney, saying that, we're not going to do that, basically.
And by the way, if it's not paid off, you're only getting whatever the fucking...
Yeah, whatever. You don't know. Right. But he built it, it's paid.
Oh,
he built
right
it.
Point.
Yeah, he built
Unless
it.
he's got,
Yeah, no, I just know from the case that he didn't,
right.
but he could have. But I know this case, he actually was paid off. So the prosecutor said, quote, Diane Borchardt has been manipulating her stepchildren and her own child throughout this murderous plot. Obviously, she manipulated one teenage boy to commit the murder. Her last bit of manipulation since her conviction has been to prevent the sale of the Bear Hole Road property to a bona fide buyer and apply the proceeds to the needs of those children. Doing her dirty work from, I guess that's a prison name that I can't pronounce, she cost the estate and the children a great deal because they still had to pay taxes and all sorts of more shit like that, fees and crazy shit. He said that each day there was delayed, it was costing money, and he argued that taxes, utility, mortgage payments on the home were running more than $1,000 a month that was just being drained out of the estate, basically, which is crazy.
That's expensive, and that's money that's just going away.
No, it's fucking nuts. So they're being set aside for her further negotiations to divide the money. Some of those funds could go to his family members because they recently also won a wrongful death suit against Diane.
Really?
Yes, they did. Now, Diane, on the other hand, she has got to get sentenced here. Diane sits her down. Now, the judge is like, you killed a husband who's a nice guy and you hired children to do it.
That's crazy.
It's not looking good for you. Judge says, you, ma'am, may fuck off, life in prison, no parole possibility for 45 years.
Oh, Jesus. 45
years to a 35-year-old woman.
Right.
80.
In the 90s.
In the 90s. Ooh. So she isn't eligible for parole till 2035. So she's still in there for at least another 15 years.
Wisconsin.
And then she's going to get out and go, these assholes. And find the show. Now, what they did do to, I guess, immortalize her was the whole situation. In 1996, they made a cheesy TV movie about the situation.
No way.
A two-parter, too. 3 hours and 20 minutes.
What?
Oh, yeah. 2-part, 2-night.
Wow.
Blowout network miniseries.
ABC?
You know how they used to do? I don't remember what it was called, the name of it too. Quote, Seduced by Madness. The Diane Borchardt story.
Who was seduced though?
They tried to make it out like she was like
trying to fuck the boys.
That she was offering the boys like that she was using sex as a thing, which she wasn't. Even the prosecutor was like, okay, she might have been fucking,
may have been.
She might have been bumping with the other one with the chick, but she definitely wasn't.
May have had some Wisconsin scissor action.
Yeah, maybe. So this movie it gets 6.5 stars out of 10 on IMDb. Oh my. It's stars. Let's see. Diane is played by Anne Margaret.
What?
Anne Margaret's she's a sex symbol from the 60s. Like, she was known as like one of the most attractive women in the country and everyone loved her and all this. She plays Diane.
In the 90s, she's playing that
Yeah,
though?
Even in the 90s, though, she was still way too... Yeah. I mean, she was attractive. She's isn't she the one in the first fucking Grumpy Old Men?
Yes.
Isn't that her?
Yeah, that's
Anne Margaret, right?
Yeah.
Like,
she is hot.
So I mean, she was pretty back then too. So she's about probably 15, 20 years older than
sex selling in the 90s.
Diane was then, though. This is the time of the salacious miniseries. Right. Every network had a Joey Buttafuoco, Amy Fisher series. Every single one.
And this is just reversed, so this is fucking wild.
Ruben was played by Peter Coyote.
Who the fuck is that?
You'd know him if you saw him.
Really?
He's one of those guys you'd be like, oh, that guy? Holy shit. Ruben played by Peter Coyote.
All right, I'll Google it.
Chuck, the son.
The little guy?
No, he's played by?
Who?
Tobey Maguire.
Get the fuck out.
Swear to God. Tobey
Spider-Man was
fucking Spider-Man. Yep. Freddie Rodriguez played the Michael Maldonado. That was the big complaint, was they made Michael Maldonado.
Yeah.
He was just a kid from Wisconsin, just whatever. They made him look like a gangster in the movie. Like,
really?
They had him have a backwards hat that was like all, but they just made him act like all gangstery and shit. And they're like, he's just not like that at all. He's just some dumb kid.
Oh my God, Peter Coyote.
Yeah, you know him, right?
That's the guy that they had get killed?
They had him get killed and Tobey Maguire find the body.
He was in fucking Aaron Brockovich.
Yeah. The DVD is on Amazon of that movie, the TV movie. It is $58.99 on Amazon.
$60.
Not a lot of them exist. I'm not sure.
But $60
for
a made-for-TV movie.
It's all. None of them exist. That's why.
It better be amazing.
Can you imagine buying that? Like, I need to see this Anne Margaret TV movie.
Tobey Maguire.
It's got Tobey Maguire. Please take my $59 right now. Jesus, it's got Peter Coyote in it. Honey, Peter Coyote's in this movie. Give me my credit card, quick. Jesus Christ.
Pre-Spider-Man. We got to get this.
I got to see what it was like. So Diane appeals this, and basically her appeals are on a couple of things. Very quickly, one was by the admission of the excited utterance. That was a big deal. The court ends up ruling that, yeah, it's fine. He'd been shot 2 times and was wounded, and this qualifies as a startling event or condition. And the second element was also met, as his statement was made while being under the stress of excitement caused by such a startling event condition. So yeah, there's a death thing in that too. I won't read the whole thing. So ineffective assistance of counsel as well. She says by not eliciting testimony. This is her ineffective assistance of counsel try, okay? I'm not going to get that detailed into appeals, but this is so fucking stupid and enraging that I want to fucking drive to Wisconsin and punch this lady. I've never hit a woman. Yeah. I'll punch this lady right in the forehead for doing that, just for this. Yeah. She says, okay, her attorney was incompetent because he didn't take the strategy to blame Charles for the murder.
Wow.
She said, well, Charles was in the house with him. Why didn't you say Charles killed his dad? Why didn't you try to pin a murder on an innocent 17-year-old who was sleeping in his room when his father was killed?
Why is she so mad?
She's not a good person, man. It's ridiculous. Nothing. The court decides that, Charles was a schoolmate and co-defendant, or Charles was a schoolmate with Vest and Yank, knew them. And so they said, why didn't you use that? He knew them. Why couldn't he have been Hank? We'll get together and kill my dad, even though I love him. And also that because he was, Jesus Christ, nothing in the record, they also say, indicates that Charles had any kind of a strange relationship with his father. They got along great. No evidence to connect him with anything. I don't know, the Doug Vest, who confessed to the whole thing, never mentioned him once. Right. That's a fucking thing also. Never said, oh, he was involved in it too. He was outwardly sobbing at his father's funeral. He's done everything right here. She also contends that deficient performance was demonstrated because he informed her that presenting Charles as a co-conspirator was not an option in presenting her defense. And he testified, the trial counsel here, that this strategy was discussed with her and that she expressed her belief to her attorneys that Charles wasn't involved. They said, do you think we should try to put Charles in? And she said, I don't think he was involved. And they said, okay, then he's not part of it. And now she's like, why didn't you fucking say that? So, yeah. And then they also said in the end, the jury would have had sympathy for a teenager who lost his dad and who the co-conspirators weren't even saying was involved, and they would have taken that as even harder on Diane.
Absolutely.
And the judge might have said no parole at all. Right. So maybe you'll get out when you're 80 now. But either way, she is going to be sitting in a Wisconsin prison until she's at least 80 years old.
Unbelievable. What a story.
Till 2035. That is Jefferson, Wisconsin, and the Borchards and poor Reuben.
And Tobey Maguire
and Brooke and Regan. I feel bad for all these kids,
Coyote.
man. Yeah, and Peter Coyote's tough times. Anne Margaret sitting in the joint.
Unbelievable.
Anne Margaret in the clink. It's not good. Jack Lemmon can't get to her there.
No.
It's going to happen.
Can't get into that, Vive.
Oh, it's rough, man. It's so rough. So that is the story. If you enjoyed that, I know how you can tell us. You can get on Apple Podcasts, purple icon, give us 5 stars. It helps the show a lot. Also, if you want to be a bigger hero, one of our producers, very easy way to support the show like this. And this is the thing. If you support the show, you're supporting content. You're going to get what you want to hear, because that makes us not bow to advertisers, basically. So could we give you what you want? Because we care what you think more, because you know what? A, you're our audience, and B, you're paying our fucking bills.
And you guys are so fucking supportive and so amazing.
We love you guys. Yeah. So thank you for that. If you want to support the show, very easy to do. You can be like one of these fine producers that we're going to talk about in just a minute here, who are our goddamn heroes. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/crimeandsports, or head over to PayPal and use our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com, and you can make a donation and make us the happiest people, and make us make us say your name.
Yeah.
Say my name, bitches. And we'll be like, all right, cool. And we'll say your name. So please do that. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your crime and sports and small town murder needs. All sorts of merchandise up there. If you're not listening to crime and sports, honestly, you're out of your goddamn mind.
You really are.
If you enjoy this show, you have no reason to not listen to crime and sports. Don't say, I don't like sports. Doesn't matter. We talk about crazy shit. Sports aren't a part of it. So, they are a part of it, but it's only for context.
It runs with it.
It's only for context to say, look at how much this person didn't have to do what he did.
What
a fucking idiot. Exactly. Also, live shows. Tomorrow and Saturday, we will be in Denver and Salt Lake City, February 7th and 8th. They're sold out, though, but February 15th and 16th, next weekend in Indianapolis and Louisville. Come see us there. Tickets still available. And also March 13th and 14th, San Francisco, Cobb's. Come see us out there. Late shows there. And then after that, what the hell? The 27th and 28th of March, Detroit, and then Cincinnati. Come see us. Cincinnati, we just got a low ticket warning for that. So they're just about gone. You want to get those tickets right now.
So close.
So close. Get those before they go. Come see us in March. Come see a live show. Yeah. All that shit. If you want to follow us on social media, very easy to do that. We are at Murder Small on Twitter, at Small Town Pod on Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. And get in there, follow us for all of the newest updates on not only show stuff, when bonus episodes are released, live shows, new live shows that might pop up, low ticket warnings, all that sort of thing. And speaking of that, next week we're going to put up a Patreon show. I had my schedule wrong, and because we were on the road, but I thought we were on. I messed everything up.
So we want to be in town to do that.
Yeah, we want to be in town to do that. We got to go get on a plane, so we can't do that. But next week we will have a bonus episode for you as well on Patreon. Be on the $5 or above, like everything is. Nothing's ever going to be more than that. We're not going to be like, you need to pay extra to hear this. We're amazed you want to pay anything to hear anything. So thank you guys a ton for all that shit. And I need to hear this list, Jimmy. We've talked about them enough. We've gushed. Now I need to hear them and fully praise them. Jimmy, hit me with that list.
This week's executive producers are Tracy Mitchell and her friend LQ. LQ's ex is a dickhead, I'm told.
Fuck him then.
I don't know what happened, but I guess he's a piece of shit. So
he's shit, dude.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, LQ.
He didn't give us money, so he can fuck off.
Justin Mangum, Tanya Volanek, and Jordan Bennett. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do for us. Froylan and Amber Olivo. I think,
like Tony.
I think it was Amber's birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Something. I don't know. I wrote their names down because it was special, and I don't know what I was supposed to say because I'm an idiot. So thank you, Froyo. And then Kelly Cook's birthday is this week, and her friend, I think, he may have been a special friend. I don't know, but he wanted us to tell her that.
Well, happy birthday.
And then Tigran Minot Sakanyan, I think that's right.
Sure.
Brandon Massey, Elena Stojaj. No, it's a J at the end.
Okay.
None of that ever makes any sense to me. Margaret King, Lindsay Han, Leanne Fennessy, Josh McIntyre, Allison Morris, Bobby Colorado, probably not, but I wish it was.
Yeah.
Emily Tran, Nicole King, Sydney Wilmington, Piper with no last name, Joseph Stafford, Matt Stafford's little brother, obviously.
Clearly.
Brian Callen's brother, Sean, Tater Nuts Fleming.
That's
Who is that? This is the second time.
That's Corn Tits' brother, Tater Nuts, right? I couldn't even get it out.
That's right. So I thought you actually knew him.
I couldn't get Corn Tits out of my mouth for some reason.
Hannah Hart, Josh Nowakowski, Danielle Harper Phillips, Kale Ludwig, Allison Collins, Mary Kate, Ashley's sister,
Ashley?
right?
Ashley, cheap bitch, pony up.
Soma Sant, Denise Anderson, Carlos Lopez, Jackie Sukup, donated twice. Thank you, Jackie. Carrie Snodgrass, Brandon Finn. I wrote down Snodgrass, and I remembered there was a kid in high school named Jesse Gartens, and some genius realized that his last name spelled backward was Snotrag. That's what we called him for the rest of the time that I ever knew him.
Solid shit there.
Christy Inez Franklin, Phoenix Fire, Rashab Shaw, Jennifer Baker, Stacia, Ann Loading, Stacy Waller, Don Dickman. I am sorry, brother. Chad Johnson, because he listens to this.
Oh, Joe.
Amelia Jones, Brady Thompson, Mindy Beaver, Deaver. Hammond, Jesus. Kristen Jazdadewski. No, it's not. Jazdadewski. Mike Sanders, Andy Cox, Jason Fuller, Jay Fuller.
Clayton
Stanek. Leanne Hatch, Ryan O'Halloran, Joy Looper, Roseanne Bartley, Angela Hayes, Jessica, Wade's daughter, Jessica. Wade Boggs'
perfect.
daughter.
Well, God, everybody's just coming into the woodwork today.
Ed Reed's daughter, Alexandra.
Wow. Terrific.
Taylor Clark, Danielle Webb, Jennifer with no last name, Ryan and Tristan Tisdale, Wayman's family.
God, everyone today.
Jennifer
Guys,
Pointer, one of the Pointer sisters.
Wow.
Kazuka,
one of the Pointer sisters?
Kazuka Dragon, Sarah Hanchett, Cody Rhodes, Dusty's
son, who's a WWE star, now off on, I think, AEW. I think he started it.
Becky Gardner, Mitchell Herring, Amanda Mitchell, Jenny...
Kevin's daughter.
Right, yeah. Obviously. Earl Scheib's daughter, Jenny.
Wow, getting that paint money. Thanks.
Jess with no last name, Whitney Booza, Nora Seward, Shannon Wick, Marion, Derek and Lavinia Adams, Jen with no last name, Jamie with no last name, Kristen Rybolt, Brooke Dovers, that's Ben's sister.
Ben's the little sister, yeah, clearly, obviously.
Samantha Krieger, Cindy Bittner, Jamie McDonald, of the old McDonald fortune.
Well, clearly.
Obviously.
It's from the whole, they're getting the farm money. Get that big time farm money.
Samantha Mayer, Krista Walker, Robin Anderson, Jacob Dameron, Smokestack Matt, I think, because it said Snokestack, but I think Matt just misspelled his.
I think he's just high.
His little trucker handle there.
Smokestack, bro.
Marcus Foldo, Bill Szynski, Laura with no last name, Tara Louise, Janice Hill, Senora Feinstein.
Hey, Senora.
Tracy Renninger, Quizats Hatterach. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Whoa.
Is that a joke or is that a real name? Quizats?
It sounds like a weird store in the mall that closes down in a month. Was that Hatterats?
That's Quizats Hatterach. That's where you get all your hats.
Like Persian rugs and shit. I don't know what's going on in there.
Chris Crow, Stephen Rude came through. Thank you, Stephen. I wrote a weird name here. What did I do? Is that a pan? No, it's not. What is that name? I'd show it to you, but you'd be like, what are you doing with your life, Jimmy? That's either. Not. Is that Ryan?
If you
Arian?
Can't read your handwriting.
Ryan?
What do you expect from me?
I'm going to figure that out. Deanne Dooley, Adam Udani, Pierce DeCourcy, Aaron Ray, Matt Bottini, or Botany. No, it's Bottini, isn't it? That's probably Italian, I think. Dylan Irish, David Decant, Sarah Carpenter, Alexis Saltzman, Craig Cole, Michael Ryan, John Herndon, Bradley Spielman, The Gentleman Gamer, spelled like Gay.
Cool, a gay gamer.
I hope that he's beating the shit out of 8-year-olds that are calling him a homo.
They're
and he's
calling
like,
him the N-word?
I am. Fuck you.
Not yet.
Bradley Spielman, I said that. Nate Sage, Jason with no last name, Jenny Smith, Susanna Platt, Jude Kendall, Amanda Cassidy, Lisa Gallo, not Gallo.
Jerry Callow. Callow.
Kate Graham, I believe that is.
Obviously.
Right.
We know who that is, yeah. Thank you.
Steve Schnell, thank you.
Thanks,
Schnell,
Steve.
You fucking.
See you in Philly.
Thank you. Peyton Meadows, Liz Vasquez, James Martyr, Rachel Peterson, Joshua Hust, Caitlin Mason, Gary Howard, Benjamin Hill,
thanks,
and Katie Baby. Obviously,
Katie Baby. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for everything you do. And then also, big shouts to the Chiefs and all their fans for enjoying a win this week. And congratulations.
We are going to take credit for our moment of silence during the Kansas City live show. At the moment, at the time we were there, Patrick Mahomes had an injury that was literally the concern of Kansas City. Every car we got in, everywhere we went, people would be like, "You hear Mahomes is practicing today?" I don't know if it's a wise move. He threw around. I don't know, though. It's all they have there. So we're very happy for them. We had a moment of silence before the Small Town Murder Show to pray for Patrick Mahomes' injury. And guess what?
It worked.
You're welcome, fuckers.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of our hearts. Yeah. Honestly, we could not do this without you. Mm-hmm. And for reasons we won't get into, it's just been brought to our attention how important you guys are to us, even more this week. Because as long as you guys support us, we can do anything, and the show can go on as long as we want it to, and as long as you guys want it to, because that's really all that matters. And we'll keep doing it. So thank you for always being there for us and everything like that. Jimmy, what if they wanted to thank you for being there for them? How might they do that?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. It's really great to hear from you guys. I have a shit pile of messages that I've got to go through. I have one that I'm trying to find and I can't find it. But it's a birthday thing that I'll get to next week. It doesn't matter. Where can they find you? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can find me at Jimmy P is Funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description to make it easier on yourself, because you're not going to spell it right. No. So do that. Find us. Keep coming back week after week, because we have to come back week after week.
Do.
And damn it, you know what? We want to. See everybody in Denver and Salt Lake City. And
can't wait.
Can't wait. Until next week, everybody. It's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.